ABC Sports presents quarterfinal action in the USFL playoffs of '85. From out of the Eastern Conference, the Tampa Bay Bandits against the Western Conference champion Oakland Invaders. Well, you'd be hard-pressed to find a better kind of a day for this playoff game between Oakland and Tampa Bay. In Oakland, it's about 70 right now, maybe a little warmer, and the humidity is most comfortable. The Tampa Bay Bandits and the Oakland Invaders represent the opposite ends of the spectrum as we go into the playoffs, but as we saw yesterday, teams can come in with a 10-8 record and give the high rollers a hard time. Let's take a very quick look at how these teams all came to be in the playoffs. First, looking at the Eastern Conference, the Birmingham Stallions were the Eastern Conference champions with a record of 13-5, followed by New Jersey, Memphis, Baltimore, and Tampa Bay. The East qualifying 5 teams for this reason, that the 8 best records went into the playoff structure of the USFL. In the Western Conference, the Oakland Invaders posted a 13-4-1 record. That's the best record in the USFL. Denver and Houston also qualifying, and Birmingham eliminated Houston yesterday. Now, these are the matchups of how things went. Birmingham and Houston playing the Saturday game, and if you saw it, you had to enjoy it because it went to the last tick of the clock. Danny Miller kicked 5 field goals for the Birmingham Stallions, the winner a 57-yarder, and as time expired, Houston's Tony Fritsch had one slide a little to the left and miss from 49 yards. And so Birmingham advances and will be at home next Saturday or Sunday, depending on what happens today and tomorrow night. The playoff structure today, we'll have bonus coverage of Denver at Memphis. Al Troutwig reporting on that game. And then Monday night, because of a scheduling conflict of facilities at the Meadowlands, Baltimore will be at New Jersey, and we'll give you progress reports on that ball game during ABC's presentation of Monday Night Baseball. Now let's turn to our analyst, Lynn Swan, and I might add that we made a very quick trip from Birmingham to Oakland and been sitting out here in the hot sun.
Is that where we are?
All morning. Yeah, we're in Oakland, California today. That's just down the road from
San Mateo, where I grew up.
Right. Yeah. Let's talk about these Oakland Invaders. 13-4-1, best record in the league.
Solid football team, and of course the offense is really led by the young man out of Louisiana, Bobby Hebert. Very talented young man. Bobby Hebert, 1/3 of a very solid passing attack, was the 3rd-round draft choice of the Michigan Panthers, who merged with the Oakland Invaders. Bobby Hebert was the MVP in the first USFL championship game as he led the Panthers to victory. Hebert in playoff games has a 54% completion record and 6 touchdowns. Tall and lanky, this 6'4" Cajun likes to throw the ball deep and get it to his receivers. Number 2 of this 3rd of a great passing attack is Anthony Carter. He is out of the University of Michigan, and he is another of the small, lightning-quick receivers in the USFL. When the skies seem gray, look out for AC. He will be the flash across the field to make a spectacular catch. Although small, he is not afraid of the thunder across the middle. His running mate on the other side on Stanford University is Gordon Banks. The 3rd part of this great passing team has 62 catches and 1,115 yards and 7 touchdowns on the season. He has improved tremendously, part because of the addition of Anthony Carter and also his coach, Fred Bolitnikoff, the receiver coach. Albert Bentley, a great surprise to this football team this year. They didn't expect a lot out of him. He has 1,000 yards rushing for this team, and he gives his attack balance. He is quick, if not actually fast, and has power, if not really elusive.
And behind Albert Bentley, let's not forget a guy named John Williams now, because remember the first 2 years of the Michigan Panthers, Williams was almost the designated short-yardage scorer.
And he will do the same this afternoon if they get down in those situations.
One of the stats that jumps out at me about this Oakland ball club is the fact they've run the ball 518 times and they have thrown it 519 times, so they have been able to achieve what you said, balance. I mean, it's a good football team, and they had the best punter in the USFL as well, Stan Talley, winning that championship or that title for the 2nd time in 3 years. The man who bosses this Oakland Invaders football team had 21 years in the National Football League as an assistant coach. But now he's running the whole show. Name is Charlie Sumner, and I think the record speaks for itself. He's now with our Tim Brandt.
You get to this point of the season, the word defense takes on a much larger meaning. It seems that is the key. 29 interceptions for Tampa. Do you have to put a lot of pressure on Reeves?
Yeah, I think that's going to be one of our keys is, as I said before, we don't have a great defense. We got a lot of good players who perform, their duties and all like that, but we don't have an outstanding pass rusher or anything like that. We just try to play good, solid defense, and I think that's going to be the key.
Looking at the film, strengths and weaknesses, Angelo Snipes. I love the way he plays, and yet he hadn't played the last couple of games. Are you saving him for this one?
Well, no, we weren't saving him. The last couple of games we played were against teams where the opportunity didn't present itself to. He's kind of a role player, and he knows what his role is, and he'll be in there today, though.
How important is it for your team to score first? You see the record 13-0 when you score first, 0-4-1 when you don't.
Well, I think it's looking at that, if you're superstitious or, looking at the record, I think it's very important for us to score first.
You've been playing extremely well. It came out last week, 31-7 lead. Talk about the backside of it now and play the devil's advocate. Are you concerned with what was termed lack of intensity in the report I saw, or losing that lead, which has happened on occasion?
I don't think it was a lack of intensity. We started making some substitutes a little early and got in trouble. But that seems to be our nature. It has been all year. Like New Jersey, we had them 34-13 and 20-3, at different times. And it just seems to be the character of our team. If we get in charge, we always find a way to give the other team a chance and get them back in the ball game.
Is there any one thing that sticks out in your mind that you think could make the big difference today?
No, not really. I just think we just have to play a good, solid game. I think it's going to be important if we can control Gary Anderson. I don't think that's, we can stop him, but it'd be important if we can control him.
Good luck today, Charlie.
Thanks a lot.
All right, Tammy, thank you. Charlie Sumner, who worked for so many years building pieces for other head coaches and now doing the whole thing himself and doing a heck of a job. The United States Football League, an exclusive presentation of ABC Sports. Today's game brought to you by exceptionally smooth Michelob, the beer of choice for people who are moving up. Where you're going, it's Michelob. By Alka-Seltzer, for indigestion, heartburn with a headache, send Alka-Seltzer to the rescue and feel it making you feel better fast. And by AT&T. In long-distance services, information systems, telephones, and computers, AT&T is the right choice. A look at the Tampa Bay Bandits after this.
These strips of metal are in the same kind of acid that's in your stomach, only we've made it 30 times stronger. Let's see what Rolaids does to it. Or Tums. Now, what about Alka-Seltzer? While Rolaids and Tums are effective, only Alka-Seltzer neutralizes more excess stomach acid and also speeds relief to your headache. So even if you have an iron stomach, send Alka-Seltzer to the rescue and feel it making you feel better fast.
There's a lot of confusion in people's minds about what goes on in their mouths, like the difference between plaque and tartar. Plaque is so soft, proper brushing with a toothbrush and any toothpaste helps remove it. Ugly tartar is so hard, it takes one of these to scrape it away. And no toothpaste helps stop it from coming back. But there's one coming that will. One that helps stop tartar from coming back between dental visits. New Tartar Control Crest. Coming soon in the silver box.
USFL playoff action continues next weekend, live at 2:30 Eastern on ABC Sports.
We're in Oakland, California for Tampa Bay and Oakland quarterfinal playoff game in the USFL. And let's turn now to the Bandits. And the one thing that just literally jumps at me, Lynn Swan, about this Tampa Bay history over the past 18 games, they have committed 59 turnovers.
That's really been the downfall of this offensive team. And 29 of those 59 turnovers have come as interceptions. Now, John Reeves is going to be the starting quarterback. He has 13 years of professional football experience. And at age 34, there's not a lot that John hasn't seen from a defensive unit. Now, while the power in John's arm may have diminished over the years, his touch and savvy is still there. Reeves must, however, get off to a great start and an early lead if he is to be his most effective in this ball game. Passing is the primary weapon. And the man to highlight that weapon is Gary Anderson. number 1 draft pick out of the University of Arkansas. Over 1,000 yards rushing this season, 1,207. He has also caught 72 passes and a total of 20 touchdowns. He has been healthy. He has been brilliant throughout 1985. He has the speed to break the deep one, and don't let the small size of this man fool you. He's got the power to take on some of the bigger people. If he is healthy, if his attitude is up, which it has been throughout 1985, we can see him making the big plays, possibly breaking this game open early for the Tampa Bay Bandits.
There were 2 people lost to this football team I thought that had a tremendous impact on it. Eric Trevelyan hurt early in the year and never really came back, and there was some disagreement as to whether or not he should. And as a result, Trevelyan was dropped from the team by Coach Steve Spurrier. But the guy that probably had the biggest impact negatively on this ball club was the loss of the nose tackle, Fred Nordgren.
He was the key to the defensive rush. He led the team in sacks before his injury, and by himself he could supply ample pressure to throw off a passing attack and still plug up the middle for the run. Without him, they're going to be hurting this afternoon.
The quarterback situation is an interesting one. Tim Brandt will get that story now from Coach Steve Spurrier.
And that'll be the first thing I'm going to ask you, Steve, is about the quarterback situation. I see where you really mulled over it this week, and between John and Jimmy.
Well, we think John's ready to play a real good one this week. Hopefully we don't get way behind like we've done in the past. Hopefully we can stay on the field, run the ball, and throw it a little bit, and make it a close ball game, and hopefully get ahead.
We talked a little bit in the open about bandit ball, but you come into a ball game like this, I'm not so sure ball control wouldn't be the key. Is that the direction you're taking?
Well, obviously we need to stay on the field and not let their offense get it as much as possible. But we still have to throw the ball. We know that. We have to mix it up and just play a lot smarter than we've played in the last 6 weeks.
When you throw, do you go to Jimmy Jordan?
Well, no, John's our quarterback. I don't know what would happen to make a change, but Jimmy's ready. We got a lot of confidence in him.
One final question about the defense. Without Fred Nordgren in there, how do you generate that pass rush that you're looking for?
Freddie was our leading sack man, and we've got some other players we think can pick up the slack today, and they just got to play a little bit better than we've played in the past.
All right, Steve. Good luck today. Keith?
All right, Tim, thanks very much. Steve Spurrier, Florida's only Heisman Trophy winner, as a matter of fact. Another important game going on today at the Liberty Bowl in Memphis, Tennessee. The Denver Gold and the Memphis Showboats. Al Troutwig now for a brief preview of that one.
Keith, it seems that in light of the latest news involving the hostages in the Middle East, it's appropriate to be coming to you from the Liberty Bowl in Memphis, Tennessee. The Denver Gold and the Memphis Showboats in their quarterfinal playoff in front of an enthusiastic crowd in Memphis. I'm Al Troutwig, and I'll be providing updates as you watch the game from Oakland as to what's happening in this game. Denver and Memphis finishing the regular season with identical records, 11-7. This will be their third meeting, first in the playoffs. Once 2 seasons ago in 1984 in Memphis, Denver a winner by 4. Memphis, though, winning this year in the game at the Mile High City, 33-17. Now, the Denver Gold's last taste of the regular season, bitter. They lost their last 2 games to Portland and Jacksonville. Those 2 teams did not make the playoffs. The Memphis Showboats won their last 3 games, averaging better than 36 points in each of those 3. Now remember, Bob Galliano, who had been Denver's quarterback, out with a concussion. Vince Evans will quarterback the run-and-shoot offense of Miles Davis. We should have plenty of exciting highlights in this meeting between Denver and Memphis. It's a beautiful day at the Liberty Bowl in Memphis, Tennessee. Now let's go back to Oakland, California, and Lynn Swan and Keith Jackson.
The flip of the coin has been made here at the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum. And the sun is out. They say the temperature's 70, but where I'm sitting, it feels like it's 90. Tampa Bay has won the toss, and they will receive the football. There have been many times that we have seen Tampa Bay, Swanee, come out almost passively. They don't come out just ripping and snorting and blowing at people.
They don't seem to have that killer instinct when they come out. You heard Steve Spurrier talk about bandit football, and bandit football is that gimmicky kind of football where they try and fool you, a lot of misdirection, just a lot of plays that do not connote the kind of aggressive football I think you need to really start a game off with. Matter of fact, he's very often started off football games with onside kicks.
The Tampa Bay Bandits will send Spencer Jackson and Steve Carter deep as the receive people. Carter's 11 and Jackson 88. They are both speedsters. Jackson may have a little more of the wide open blazing type speed, whereas Carter is a little quicker and very effective in returning kicks for them. We're ready to go. The field is laid out in a baseball configuration here. And they kick off from the dirt. And it goes bounding down to Carter. And Carter, out of Albany State, a rookie, brings the ball well back up the field, getting 2 good blocks at the 25 and brings it back near the 35. And so they will start with this offensive alignment. At quarterback, you'll have John Reeves. Lining up behind him will be Gary Anderson, and Greg Boone is the fullback. Booney's got a broken bone on the top of his right hand. Willie Gillespie, Larry Brodsky are the wide people. And a man I think that has to play a major role in this ball game today, if Tampa Bay is to have any success, Marvin Harvey, the tight end. They're the big guys up front. We're ready for the first snap from the 35-yard line. Tampa Bay in the white, given to Anderson. No, Boone it is. Greg Boone. They had moved Gary Anderson out into a wing position, and you'll see that a lot. Occasionally, he'll come back on a counter-type play from that wing position, but more than likely, he goes out there to spread those linebackers and give Booney a little room if they can crack him past the line of scrimmage.
Many people believe that Gary Anderson is primarily a wide receiver and secondly, a running back. He was drafted by the San Diego Chargers. They wanted to make him a wide receiver.
He gained 6 yards, Booney did, on the first carry. 2nd down and 4. This time it does go to Anderson, and Gary is spun down after a yard pickup. The defensive alignment for the Oakland Invaders shapes up with a 3-man front of Monty Bennett, Tim Moore, and Dave Browning. Browning coming off a hamstring injury. Linebackers are good. Smith, Plummer, Bentley, and Shaw. And the secondary has Derek Martin, Vito McKeever, the leading interceptor on the squad. The policeman back there is David Greenwood. And John Sullivan is the free safety. It is 3rd down and 3. The ball goes to Anderson. He gets outside, turns the corner, dives for the marker, and I don't think he got there. Bentley and Plummer, the inside linebackers, both flowing with the play very well. And looked to me like they got to him before he got to the marker.
Gary Plummer, number 51, Ray Bentley, number 50, seemed to hit him at the same time, high and low. When he dove, he really dove well short of the first down mark. Only inches away, but apparently they are going for it here in the first period.
They need a half a yard for the first down, and they're going.
One of the trademarks of Bandit football.
It's a gamble. Anderson, penalty flag goes down. Anderson's got his first down, but I think you may have a call here. It's either encroachment by Oakland or somebody along the offensive front might have moved.
I think it was the wingback, Keith, the close back.
That would be Spencer Jackson.
Illegal motion, offense, 4th down.
Bill Parkinson is the referee and defines it for you. And so the Bandits make a mistake. They have their first down and the opportunity to keep it, and they turn it away. You see Jackson move just before, there you go, a little wiggle there, and that's all it took. And so they blow the first down with that mistake. And they've got to go to the punt with Zenon Andrusician. Sean Faulkner will drop back to return the ball for the Oakland Invaders.
Here you see the untimeliness of a penalty. It wasn't a long one, but just the fact that, block.
Covered at the 25-yard line. Covered at the 25. And the Oakland Invaders, Carl Sullivan, came storming in to block the punt, and the Invaders have made a break for themselves.
I started to talk about the timing, when you get a penalty, and under what circumstances can be so devastating, not just the fact that it's simply a 5-yard penalty. And here again, a block punt deep in their own territory, giving the Oakland Invaders, without having to return the football, without having to mount a long drive, possession, their first possession inside the 25-yard line.
Ball marked just short of the 24, and Bobby Hebert with John Williams and Albert Bentley. And it's Bentley lined up behind him. He's got 4 wide receivers. He may go with a gun right out of the bat. Very strong arm, and he's going to put it up and try to cash it in a hurry. Good protection. Pass is going to be picked off. Intercepted at the goal line. Momentum carries him into the end zone. Ball should come back to the 20. James Harrell stepping right in front of the pass.
Mistakes, 2 big turnovers right away in the ball game. The block punt.
This is one of Hebert's biggest problems.
Forcing the pass. Yep. Here's a pass. He tries to touch in, but there's someone right there just waiting for him. Number 50, James Harrell, the linebacker. He's got to see the entire field to avoid those mistakes, Keith.
They don't give him the ball at the 20. They put him back on the 2-yard line. He's obviously, his momentum carried him into the end zone. I thought surely it'd come out.
There's a style in your life no one could ever deny. You're on your way to the top, and along the way you've always known just who you are. Where you're going, you've always known it. Where you're going, it's Michelob.
Where you're going, it's exceptionally smooth Michelob.
Where you're going, it's Michelob.
Come on, America. Drive over to Firestone for another MasterCare car service value.
America's driving to Firestone.
MasterCare Lube Oil and Filter includes up to 5 quarts top quality oil. New oil filter. Now only $12.88 at Firestone.
Keeps you moving on the go now. The driving force is Firestone.
New Supreme. Firestone's best radio. On sale at the best prices of the year.
Firestone.
For over 60 years, people have trusted Rust-Oleum to protect metal from rust. Now, after helping protect things in yards across America, Rust-Oleum is hitting the road. Rust-Oleum introduces the first complete line of products formulated to prevent rust on cars. New body fillers, touch-up paints, even waxes. They all protect against rust so your car will look better longer. Nobody fights rust like Rust-Oleum.
Outside linebacker James Harrell turns the Oakland Invaders away with an interception, and Tampa Bay, working from the 2-yard line, hands it inside to Greg Boone, and he picks up a couple of yards. Let's go back and take a look at the interception by Harrell. If he gets 2 feet down, which means he has possession of the ball, and he has 2 feet down before he goes into the end zone, it'll be at the 2. If he has 1 foot down, then I thought the ball should have come back out to the 20, but we'll take a look and see.
And you also have to take note of the control. If he has solid control of the football, and you see right there,
1,
he does.
2, yes.
Takes 3 steps before he goes in.
Absolutely. Good call by the officials all over the play. And Tampa Bay working now from the 2. On 2nd down, they stay with Boone, trying to wedge the ball out and get it up across the 6, close to the 7-yard line, to bring up 3rd down now at about 5. Harrell now with Tim Brent.
Keith, I'm not so sure that it's the number of steps that counts, but the momentum. And it looked to me, and I was right there when you made the interception, that the momentum carried you into the end zone.
Yes, I couldn't stop. The momentum forced me in the end zone. I knew I couldn't bring it out, so I just got down. But they marked it at the 2, so we got to start from the 2-yard line.
All right, Keith.
Thank you, Tim. 3rd down at about 5. Invaders jump across. Penalty flags are out. That may be enough for a 1st down. It looked to me like that time it was the defensive people trying to anticipate, trying to fill all the cracks.
Receiver.
Illegal contact. Number 99 on the defense.
Doug Holly. So the Invaders do make the contact. They'll pick up 5 yards on the encroachment. We'll see whether or not that's enough for the 1st down. If it is not, it'll be 3rd and very, very short.
Our Tim Brandt was talking about the momentum, Keith, and I think most officials would concur that anytime any player can take 3 steps, he should be able to get himself under control. And that time...
There was a 3rd step that got him in
Harold
trouble.
just couldn't.
So up they come on 3rd and about a foot. Each team a little tight, both making mistakes in the early going. Anderson fumbles the football. Vito McKeever dove after it, and McKeever's got it.
There are fights on the football field now. Players getting somewhat carried away. Gary Anderson was on the ground. Someone reached over, just grabbed him by the legs, drug him back about 3 yards. He got up and pushed him.
Let's see if the retaliator is the one that gets dinged with a foul here. It is Oakland's football. Dave Browning and Chuck Pitcock got involved.
Keith, Vito McKeever picked that ball up and looked as if he was going to try and find some open room to run. I think he dropped the football, and then number 50, Ray Bentley, recovered it.
Bill Parkinson sorting out the penalty.
He's got a lot of sorting to do.
The play is over. Unnecessary roughness on Oakland. It'll be first down for Oakland.
Head linesman today is Roger McMinn, and he was one of those that got caught on the pileup along with the umpire Marvin Durenberger. Parkinson marks it off, and the ball comes back out to the 29, where it'll be a first down for the Oakland Invaders. Such a scramble around the football. Once it popped loose from Anderson, you couldn't tell who. The field is so far away from where we're sitting here, you feel like you're doing the ball from downtown San Francisco. And the sun shines all over the monitor, so you can't go to the binoculars. You can't see that much.
Right there you see why they've had problems this year. Anderson fumbling. 59 turnovers coming into playoff situations this year.
From the 29 of Tampa Bay, a second opportunity now for the Oakland Invaders. Hebert gives it to Bentley. No, it is Williams. John Williams. Well, they moved Big John over the left side. Now, he was a short yardage man for 2 years with the Michigan Panthers, and I mean tough. He's out of Wisconsin, and he's got a lot of suck for a short yardage play. The three wide people that they use most of the time are Gordon Banks, Anthony Carter, of course, and Derek Holloway, and all three can fly.
Holloway and Anthony Carter coming to the Oakland Invaders after the Michigan Panthers merged at the end of the 1984 season.
Second down and 9. Hebert gives it this time to Williams, and Williams finds some daylight. Big block from Jim Leonard and Tracy Franz, and Franz really blew his man out of the way, and Williams takes the ball down to the 20.
Third and 1 from the 20.
The defensive unit for Tampa, a four-man front today, with Butler, Ramey, Morgan, and Clark, playing a 4-3, which is a departure from what they started the season with. Sankar Montoot, he's in there at linebacker. He's improved steadily. Alonzo Johnson and James Harrell, with Bailey, Anderson, Quinn, and Mike Thurman as the secondary. Of course, Quinn was an all-star here in Oakland last year. Tom Newton is now in at fullback for Oakland. And Newton goes for the first down. Takes a hard whack as he gets to the 19, falls ahead to the 18, and that'll be a first down.
That was number 26. Dwayne Anderson that came up for the stop. Missing from that Tampa Bay Bandit defensive unit is linebacker Kelly Kirchbaum, who sprained his knee in the last regular season game against the Birmingham Stallions. I think he will also be missed, Keith, in this afternoon. He was one of the leaders of that defensive unit.
There's a lot of experience along that front for Oakland, and Penny, Wiska, Leonard, Franz, Markham. Markham played in every game that the Oakland team has played in the USFL. Ray Penny, a teammate of yours from the Pittsburgh days. On first down, Hebert steps, takes a short drop, goes to the corner, and it is overthrown, incomplete. The pass intended for Gordon Banks. Mike Thurman was right with him.
Bobby Hebert, one of the great surprises in the first year of the USFL, coming out of Northwest Louisiana, third-round pick in 1982 or 83. You didn't really expect a lot out of him. You didn't know a lot about him. But as the season progressed, he got stronger and stronger. His confidence grew, and that arm and the receivers he had, his productivity just increased throughout the season, and again led his team to the first championship in 1983.
He believes he can complete every pass. Sometimes he tries to force it, and sometimes he gets burned, as we saw a little while ago. They've got Carter in motion, and hand the ball off to John Williams. And Williams is rolled down short of the line of scrimmage by a yard. Well, you see this already, Swanee, that Alvin Bailey and Mike Thurman, the corners, along with the strong safety Anderson, are committing themselves at the line of scrimmage. They are coming.
What they're doing defensively, Keith, is I think they're inviting the Oakland Invaders to run the football. They'd like to see them run the football as opposed to pass it.
Sure.
I don't think they feel that they've got the great pass rush to go after Bobby Hebert. They've got the people in there. If you look at the formation, the middle linebacker doesn't really play in the middle.
It's third down and close to 12. From the 20, roughly, as Hebert lofts one toward the corner, and it is incomplete. For Gordon Banks, same play, and Mike Thurman able to get his hand on it and knock it away. Banks flashed open for a second, but Hebert was trying to touch the ball over his head into Banks and couldn't get it there.
You've got to really put a lot of touch on this and just drop it in over the cornerback's head in order to have a chance. This time, Gordon Banks beats him, but right here the ball is just short. This ball has to be a little bit deeper in order to make it an easier catch for Gordon Banks.
37-yard field goal coming now with Novo Bojovic. Totaled 111 points during the regular season. Between the 30 and the 40, he was 3 out of 6. Red Bassana will hold it, reserve quarterback. Red QB'd him here at Oakland for 2 years until Hebert came to town. Bojovic hits it, plenty of leg on it, and it's good. So Oakland gets on the scoreboard first as Novo Bojovic hits from 37 yards, and the Invaders lead the Bandits by a score of 3-0 in the quarterfinal playoff action in the USFL.
In the beginning, man's feet walked free. But the road to civilization was paved, so man developed shoes. Soon after that, man developed athlete's foot.
Egad.
Today, there's Mycotin. Mycotin cures athlete's foot. It's the only athlete's foot medicine you can buy with myconazole, a patented ingredient recommended by specialists to cure athlete's foot. Mycotin in spray, powder, or cream. Mycotin, the end of the road for athlete's foot.
Don't be alarmed. You're watching a man at work.
Let's see. I know it's here somewhere. Ah, found it.
I remember we were panicked. Find a home that last day or fly home not knowing where we'd live. But our Century 21 broker wouldn't give up.
He showed us the last house late that night. And guess what? Perfect and at the right price. How do you find people like that?
All you gotta do is pick up the phone. Put number 1 to work for you. Century 21.
The hostages on their way home.
See you in Damascus. Fantastic.
Watch an ABC News special with Peter Jennings tonight at 7, 6 Central.
So far, it's been a game of mistakes between Tampa Bay and Oakland. The Bandits turning it over twice, deep on their end of the field. Finally, Oakland was able to cash in the opportunity with a field goal. And the kickoff now, Bojovic knocks it towards Steve Carter. And Carter at the 3. They play on grass here. Carter shakes loose and then is brought down. They'll get him to about the 17. Vito McKeever brought him down. The Tampa Bay Bandits have run the ball 6 straight times. Of course, in the second possession, they didn't have much. Well, they had a choice, I guess, but they just chose not to put it up.
Kate, there seems to be, to me, 2 overriding attitudes in this ball game. First, for the Tampa Bay Bandits, they know they really have to play a great football game, maybe their best football game of the year, in order to have a chance at winning this ball game. So I think with the playoffs and the tension, they're playing very bad football. That's why the mistakes.
That 15-yard penalty against Oakland, a result of a spearing call on the kick coverage, and Tampa Bay starts with pretty good field position from the 32, and carrying the ball is Gary Anderson. Gary's a 180-pounder, but he is slick.
The second half of that, Keith, Oakland, I think Oakland feels like they should win this ball game. They should be able to come out and dominate this team defensively and offensively, so they now have that pressure on them. They feel like they should be able to come out, run, and score at will. And if they don't, they're going to start getting a little down on themselves.
Reeves is back to throw the first pass of the ball game. It's a dump off to Anderson, and Anderson hit, knocked across the 45, and that will be a first down for the Tampa Bay Bandits. David Shaw, the man that hit him, he's out of the University of California.
That's what happens, Keith, when you start running east and west with the faster linebackers you have to play against in professional football these days. They will come up from behind and make real solid hits.
Bandits now with breathing room at their own 45. Send Gary Anderson wide as a receiver, leaving Boone the setback, and Reeves will put it up. He looks at Anderson all the way and hits him on the sidelines for a first down at the 39 of Oakland. So John Reeves, on the 2 passes, has had zip on the ball. And it's very important. Lynn Swan made the point in the very beginning of today's telecast that if Reeves comes out and is zipping the ball and gets some confidence, he can be a rough customer.
He'll be very tough. On that pass play, number 41 on the defense, John Sullivan, was the man covering Gary Anderson. He is a free safety. Traditionally, a free safety is not accustomed to a lot, Keith, of man-to-man coverage. And I'd hate to have to go into a playoff situation not covering a lot of people man-to-man and then have to hook up on Gary Anderson.
Reeves throwing on first down. Ducks it off down the middle, and it goes to Marvin Harvey, the tight end. A little hook and go, short type of work with the tight end. And Harvey takes the ball just inside of second base. And he's got another first down.
On successive plays, Keith, they have now demonstrated on offense just what we talked about at the beginning of the show, utilizing Gary Anderson, but then coming back to Marvin Harvin, the big tight end out of southern Mississippi, to control the passing game short.
I think Harvey's got to be a prominent personality for the Tampa Bay today. Ball is around the 28-yard line, and it's Greg Boone carrying, and Boone is down to the 24, picked up 4 on the play. He's a 195-pounder, short, stocky, 5'9". The hash marks are so dim, it's kind of hard to tell exactly where the ball is.
The back of Steve Spurrier. Can't see much of his personality from there.
Play action. Reeves passes away. Harvey's got it. And it's going to be another first down as David Greenwood brought him down. Now, Greenwood has got to come over. David is 6'3", 210. Big, strong, agile, tough football player. And Greenwood is going to really have to brace up and play Marvin Harvey. If he keeps wandering around back there in the back trying to play combination linebacker position and help out in doubling up on the wide people, it's just not going to work.
I think we are going to see quite a lot of man-to-man coverage by the Oakland secondary, and the matchup of Harvey and Greenwood should be one of the more entertaining this afternoon.
Reeves still throwing. He's 4 out of 4, and his pass is into the end zone, and there's interference. Is it not? No, it is not. Willie Gillespie was the intended receiver. Willie was going down. He and Vito McKeever got tangled up. Both of them fell down, and no call.
I have to wonder about the footwork of Gillespie. I've seen him fall down quite a bit throughout the season, Keith. He'll be running pass patterns, get down into the end zone anywhere in the field, and he'll seem to trip. Here, it's not pass interference. He gets tangled up in his own feet.
And it's second down and 10. The ball is at the 16 of Oakland.
We used to try and find defensive backs with that problem and weave them, make them fall down.
Get him across their legs and got it.
That's it.
Either movement or encroachment, probably movement, the way they came charging across.
One, false start on the offense.
False start on Matt Newton, right guard. So the Bandits now, they're operating at the baseball end of the stadium, and if they were to have to go to a field goal situation here, they're going to be working around. Well, he'd have to start on the dirt and then kick from the grass, and that's tricky.
That can be very tricky. Getting that foot planted securely. Get a good swing.
I would think, though, that Steve Spurrier's got to take a little heart, though, the way the Bandits have moved the football down the field. Backside pressure. The pass is intercepted as Oliver Davis steps in behind the intended receiver and makes the interception. The interception occurred because John Reeves was hit hard from the blind side just as he delivered the ball.
I talked to Charlie Sumner on Friday when I was down in Birmingham, Keith. He said in order to be effective against the Tampa Bay offense, we have to get some pressure on the passer, and for us that means to blitz. We don't have the great guy who's going to come off the defensive line and make the play by himself, a la Fred Nordgren or Reggie White, who plays for the Memphis Showboat. What we have to do is blitz, mix up our defensive line play, and then apply pressure that way. That time it worked.
That time it was Angelo Snipes, and if there is a designated quarterback hunter, it would be Angelo Snipes, and he was the man that hit Reeves.
Hey, everybody, it's Uncle Joe.
We all like to spend the weekends with family and friends. That's why AT&T saves you 60% on long distance every weekend, and they don't stop with savings. They give you service, too. Calling from anywhere to anywhere. Operator service, calls that sound as close as you feel, and 60% off. Joe, knew you'd make it somehow. Savings and service. That's AT&T. The more you hear, the better we sound. AT&T, the right choice.
There's a style in your life no one could ever deny. You're on your way to the top, and along the way you've always known just who you are. Where you're going, you've always known it. Where you're going, it's make alone.
you're going, it's exceptionally smooth Michelob.
Where you're going, it's Michelob.
Pete Rose continues his hit parade towards Ty Cobb's record when Cincinnati takes on Los Angeles or Detroit at Baltimore on ABC's Monday Night Baseball.
And during our presentation of ABC's Monday Night Baseball, we'll have progress reports of the Baltimore, New Jersey USFL playoff games, which will be going on at the same time. First down for the Oakland Invaders now, as the teams are swapping turnovers. Each with an interception, and Tampa Bay has fumbled it twice. Here goes John Williams again. And Williams swinging out to the right, wanting to get over behind Markham and Franz and the big tight end Doug Cozen. And he got himself squared upfield and picked up about 3 yards. I don't know. I guess those things mean something. I suppose it opens up the confidence factor, but the Oakland Invaders have scored over 100 points in every quarter this past season. No particular quarter is stronger than the other. 2nd and 7, Hebert hands the ball to Albert Bentley. And Bentley with his first carry, close to a first down. Bentley came out of Miami, 5'11", 210, wound up with more than 1,000 yards this season, and he was the big bonus and a surprise for the team.
A real big surprise for this football team, and with the ability to throw the ball so well, it's a great pleasure to have that kind of running balance. You don't have to rely on your passing game and third and short situations. You have the confidence you can hand the ball off and play safer, more secure football when you want to run the clock out.
There are no hash marks on the field, the baseball dirt portion, so they have to bring the change out to figure out whether or not it's the first down, and it was by a half a football.
Keith, when you mentioned the fact that Oakland has, when they score first, won 13 football games, or all their football games, I think what that means is just that maybe they have a tendency to relax once they've done what they're supposed to do. Once they see that they can work the ball down the field and execute their game plan, they feel more confident, they relax, and they play their game. Right now, both these football teams are succumbing to the pressure of playoff performance.
It was a first down. And Hebert still got it. Has a long time to look and throws complete. He's got Gordon Banks. And you got a penalty flag back behind the line of scrimmage in the area of the quarterback, and it's probably holding.
I'll tell you one thing, Keith. They're lucky that one didn't get picked off either. All right. Again, we're so far away from the field, sometimes it's hard to tell depth. But the man covering on the play was the cornerback, number 34, Mike Thurman. And Mike looked like he was only a few yards away from Gordon Banks when that ball was thrown, and really got a chance to pick it off. Also, it demonstrates the power in Bobby Hebert's arm to be able to throw it when he's that close and get it to the receiver.
That nullifies the pass play. The ball is marked back to the 13 of Oakland, and it's first down and 20. Anthony Carter has come off the field, walking gingerly. Albert Bentley and John Williams now are the setbacks. Hebert drops. Setting up a screen, and it's off the hands of Albert Bentley. He pumped it once, did a full pirouette, and then tried to set the screen with Bentley, and he just simply threw it too high. Angelo Snipes, we mentioned a while ago, is the designated quarterback hunter. He's out of West Georgia, a rookie, and he's now with Tim Brent.
We talked about him in the pregame, Keith. Charlie Sumner said he's a role player, did not play the last couple of weeks. Is this your kind of ball club?
Yes, it's my type of team, you know. It's kind of like the quarterback has a 7-step drop back, 7 to 8-step drop back. So it gave me time to go and get pressure on the quarterback. You know.
Almost had that last.
Yeah, I almost had it. You know, I just kind of like timed it a little bit, you know, too late there. All right, faster.
Back goes Hebert to throw again on second down and 20. Gets it out here to Bentley. Bentley is caught and dragged down. And he'll be looking at third down and about 12. Next time you talk to Snipes, Timmy, tell him I remember West Georgia College when it was West Georgia A&M. That's where my mama went to school. Alvin Bailey, who used to do all of the punt returning for Tampa Bay, in fact, returned 70 without calling a fair catch, is now at that left corner spot, and he was involved in the tackle on Bentley. They're 3rd and 12 now, and the first quarter is just about over.
Matter of fact, they're going to let it expire before they run a play.
So after 15 minutes at Oakland, California, the Oakland Invaders lead the Tampa Bay Bandits 3-0.
Now's the time for a Honda portable generator.
Hi.
Honda. Power, anytime, anywhere. Would you like some more coffee?
I'd love some. But don't you think it's a little bright in here? It's a rare antique I should buy, but it costs
$12,000. I see.
Merrill Lynch invented the cash management account to make the most of your assets.
I'd like to sell 200 shares of...
Wait, there might be a better way. I'll get back to you.
Only the cash management account gives you the full resources of Merrill Lynch.
That stock's very strong. Don't sell. She'd do better to borrow against it. Absolutely. Hello. It's for you.
Well?
Well, it's yours. And here's how...
Merrill Lynch people, a breed apart.
Who says you can't have it all? Who says you can't be buttoned up and down to earth underneath it all?
Who says you can't have super premium taste and a less filling beer?
Michelob Light. Oh, yes, you can. Michelob Light. Oh, yes, you can. Michelob Light. Oh, yes, you can. Have it all.
When you take one of these things up, you've got a crew to help.
Test pilot Chuck Yeager for AC Delco.
When it comes to my car truck, I do the work myself. In 40 years, AC spark plugs have never let me down. And with today's technology, AC fire ring spark plugs are engineered to give you up to 30,000 miles reliable performance. Never wait for trouble. Go with AC fire ring spark plugs.
Call 800 AC Delco for a retailer near you.
We go down to the second quarter of play, and it's 3rd down and 12. The Oakland Invaders leading the Tampa Bay Bandits 3-0. And Oakland gets back on the grassy end of the football field for the snap from the 26-yard line. Bentley was the man in motion. Hebert gets it away on a swing pass out to Bentley, and it's underthrown. Hebert was getting some pressure, but not that much. He didn't have plenty of time to deliver the ball, and he just simply didn't get it there. In comes Stan Talley now. Stan Talley's quite a story. He was the top punter in the USFL in the inaugural season, and second in the conference in '84, and comes back in '85 to rank as the top punter again. Better than 44 yards per punt for Talley. You got 9 Bandits up there going after him. Gets it out. It's a low kick, not one of his best. Circling under it, Spencer Jackson, fair catch. And it'll be at just outside the 30, call it the 31-yard line of Tampa Bay. Let's find out now what's happening between Denver and Memphis as we check in New York with Al Troutwig.
This USFL update from the Liberty Bowl in Memphis. There have been plenty of mistakes, most of them coming from the Denver Gold. 1 interception by Vince Evans and 2 fumbles. The latest fumble, recovered by Mossy Cade, sent Memphis up the field from their own 26. Mike Kelly to Greg Moser from 7 yards. And the Memphis Showboats now lead the Denver Gold 7-0 late in the first quarter. Back to Oakland and Keith Jackson.
Thank you, Al. And it is Greg Boone looking for some place to run with it and can't find it. Number 50 got there in a hurry, Ray Bentley, and took him down.
Ray Bentley came to the Oakland Invaders via the merger with the Michigan Panthers. He is one of the leaders on this defensive unit. If you have to pick out one area of strength for the Oakland Invaders, you really have to look at those linebackers. They have good speed, they have good range, good lateral movement, aggressive players who would really like to play a very physical football game.
Second down, 11 from the 30. I think it's the 30. John Reeves drills to Larry Brodsky, and Brodsky gets a first down for the Bandits out at the 43-yard line, close to the 44.
John Reeves getting his share of pressure. That time gets the ball away under pressure to Larry Brodsky. Larry Brodsky, a good ball control receiver, came down to this team via the New Jersey Generals. Good hand, good footwork. He is not the fastest receiver on the football field, but probably plays the game more like an assistant coach for the Oakland Invaders than anyone else. That assistant coach being the great Fred Biletnikoff.
Brodsky from Miami. Freddie played at Florida State. And Reeves back on the dirt, sets to throw, gets it down the middle again and bounces it in front of Larry Brodsky. He had him again.
Sure did. Larry Brodsky doing a very good job of weaving in and out. He slips down trying to go low for this pass. Reeves just didn't have a lot on it. Reeves has a tendency to throw a number of passes low like this. See the ball bouncing.
The man that has the assignment on Brodsky coming from that side is your right corner, Derek Martin, and he's beaten him 2 times in a row. It is second down and 10. Steve Carter now comes in as an additional wide receiver. Give it to Gary Anderson, pops a hole up the middle. Anderson may go a long way. Up, caught from behind at the 28 of Oakland. He was a half a step from see you later.
It sure was. If it had not been for the hustle of number 31, David Greenwood, running around in that secondary, he would have been gone. Look at the series of moves. Quick jukes right there, not wasting a lot of time. Heading straight down the field. He sees a block, peripheral vision. Must have felt it right there, picked it up, then Greenwood comes over to make the stop.
So Anderson pops a big one, and Tampa Bay now is cooking at the 28 of Oakland with the Invaders leading 3-0 second quarter of play. Anderson 39 yards on the ground and 25 in the air. It's a typical Anderson day so far. Reeves back. Time. Good. Pass at the 5-yard line. Willie Gillespie got down there and made the move on Derek Martin, the corner, beat him and made the catch just about a foot off the ground, it appeared.
The offensive line did a real good job of holding people out, giving John Reeves the time to throw. He reached it. He's got man-to-man coverage on Gillespie downfield. He gets it into him. That ball, Keith, also thrown a little soft, but Gillespie makes the catch.
Willie from UT Chattanooga. Double tight end now with Jerry Price coming in to join Marvin Harvey. Anderson, the deep man. And the ball goes to Gary, looking for some room, can't find it. Oh, I mean, filling the hole in a hurry was Dave Browning. The defensive end and the backers were in there in a hurry to help him as well. Those linebackers, you said a while ago, are active. I mean, they do get there quickly.
They are very active. Browning came in, got into the into the backfield to make that play on Gary Anderson. The corners, Keith, are coming up and playing also very aggressively on the run. They're stuffing the lead blockers for the running attack.
Second down and goal, the ball up to 5 of Oakland. Tampa Bay bidding for the lead in the game. Reeves rolls it out to throw. Gets it away. Caught. Touchdown, Jackson. Spencer Jackson catches the short bullet from John Reeves on a rollout, and Tampa Bay has taken the lead.
Spencer Jackson does a real good job coming open on this pass play. First, if we can see it, number 43, watch the block Gary Anderson gives Reeves right here. Just give him the time. Reeves rolling out, throwing on the run, just zips this one right into the arms of Jackson. Pass looks like, well, I can't see who was the defensive back he threw it by, but the ball had a lot of zip on it that time. Spencer Jackson made it an easy catch.
Zenon Andrusicion's in for the extra point try. Jimmy Jordan will hold it. Zenon 51 out of 52 on the year. Hits it on the toe and knocks it through. So at 10 minutes and 58 seconds to go in the first half, the Tampa Bay Bandits take the lead over Oakland 7-3. This is Keith Jackson along with Lynn Swan and Tim Brad back at Oakland Alameda County Coliseum. Late seconds of the first half of play, quarterfinal USFL playoff game between the Oakland Invaders and Tampa Bay Bandits, and the Bandits are leading by a score of 14-10. And Bobby Hebert throws to Albert Bentley as the clock shows now less than 50 seconds to play in the first half. Throws upfield to Bentley, but he's well short of a first down because Hebert had been sacked by James Ramsey for a 9-yard loss. Very quickly recap for you, and we'll have some highlights for you in our halftime presentation. John Reeves threw to Gary Anderson. Anderson got loose after a double fake and went 73 yards for a touchdown, and that made it 14-3 Tampa Bay. Then the Oakland Invaders came back to go 80 yards in 8 plays as Hebert threw to Derek Holloway for the 25-yard touchdown. It was 14-10. Steve Carter fumbled the following kickoff, but Tampa Bay was able to recover it and drove the football on down the field and had it first down at the 14-yard line. John Reeves threw to Steve Carter wide open in the end zone, and Carter dropped the ball. And then on third down, Reeves missed Jackson under great pressure. Zenon Andrusician tried a 28-yard field goal. It was wide right and no good. And that's where we are right now. Tampa Bay 14 and the Oakland Invaders 10 with 40 seconds to play in the first half.
Gary Anderson playing some exciting football. Had a one long scamper down the sideline where he just outran everyone. Playing brilliantly so far in this ball game.
He's run for 90, Swanee, and caught passes worth 98. So he totals 188 yards so far in this ball game in the first half. And Bobby Hebert on third down at about 13 delivers the pass for Gordon Banks, and Banks cannot hang on to it as Dwayne Anderson came up to cover him on the play. And so that brings up fourth down and 34 seconds remaining in the first half. There, we've got the scoring summary finally up for you to give you an idea of what had happened. I've just given you the rundown on how the scoring took place. And with 34 seconds to play in the first half, Tampa Bay Bandits have dropped Spencer Jackson deep to receive the punt of Stan Talley. Talley has kicked twice today, 41 yards and 54 yards. So he is this season the premier punter.
They've all been fair catches, and I'm surprised at that because with such great punts, I really think the punt returner has a cushion, should catch this and try and move it upfield.
Here's a high hanger, and Jackson's going to return it from his 35 and trying to get his footing. He had a little crease and some room to come with it, and he lost his footing, and he's made his cut on the dirt portion of the baseball configuration. But again, an outstanding punt by Talley, 48 yards and an 8-yard return. Now you've got 25 seconds to play in the first half, and the Tampa Bay Bandits own the football first down at their own 43. Steve Spurrier, the head coach of the Bandits, and Charlie Sumner, the head man of the Oakland Invaders, both teams making a bushel of mistakes in the first quarter, but have opened up and come on to play some good offensive football in the second quarter. John Reeves having a good day himself. To the sidelines, out of bounds, stops the clock with 20 seconds to play. At least they should stop it. They ran off 2 seconds after the man was knocked out of bounds. It was Marvin Harvey hit by David Greenwood and short of the first down. It'll be second down and about 5.
Tampa Bay Bandits playing very good football with John Reeves off to a good start, feeling comfortable. When Gary Anderson scored his touchdown on the fake reverse, it was just a bit of bandit ball, and we'll take a look at it right now.
You watch the double fake. Now you'll see coming around the fake to Willie Gillespie on the reverse.
Gary Anderson had been faked to earlier, just slipped down to the bottom of the screen. Now you see a great example of his speed as he outruns the coverage. Now it's a sprint all the way into the end zone. It is such a great weapon to have a young man who can run so well out of the backfield. And then, when he comes out into that secondary to run a pass pattern, you have a very fine wide receiver.
That goes into the books as the longest pass from scrimmage, reception and touchdown in USFL playoff history. Derek Holloway is a youngster out of Arkansas, played on the team with Anderson. And you see Hebert from the 25 now, and he's going to find Holloway all alone as little Derek slipped away from everybody and brought it down for the TD. Reeves is now 9 out of 14 for 164 yards, 2 touchdowns and 1 interception in the first half. And John is throwing on second and 5. Goes underneath with it to Gary Anderson. There are 2 men there to grab him, but he's going to have a first down. Number 59, Angelo Snipes getting into a little shoving match, shoving Anderson back after he had made the reception, but I think the progress upfield was sufficient to give Tampa Bay a first down. The clock shows 6 seconds. I'm not sure that is correct because they ran off about 8 seconds a while ago after Harvey had been knocked out of bounds on the play.
Steve Spurrier also complained to the officials about that, but I do not see where they made any correction on the clock.
Of course, we might not know that. You need semaphores sometimes to get communication from the field up here. But he's going to be marked short of the first down. All right, here's Tim Brandt. He'll explain the clock.
Keith, the clock is correct at 6 seconds according to the ruling. When the pass was thrown out of bounds, the referee said he didn't get out of bounds, and they let it run, and they took a Tampa Bay timeout to stop it. So Steve Spurrier was tremendously upset at that. It should have been stopped. It wasn't. The clock right now at 6 seconds is correct.
I can understand why Steve was upset because the defender knocked him out of bounds.
If he had 8 more seconds on the clock, he'd have a chance really to move his team in field goal position without having to run too dangerous a pass play. Right now, they just really have got to go for the big play and try and score.
Hail Mary time, isn't it?
That's it.
Down the middle, Jackson. He's got it, but can't get away. And time has run out as Jackson comes down at the 13-yard line of the Oakland Invaders. So there's a perfect example of what Swanee was talking about, that if they had been able to save the 8 seconds, they would still have about 6 seconds or so, and you know that Andrew Zishin would be at least better than a 50% shot from that place on the field. But nonetheless, we are at halftime in the USFL playoff quarterfinals. Tampa Bay leading Oakland by a score of 14-10.
Introducing a high-performance machine for your office. Canon's NP7550 copying system. 0 to 50 in 60 seconds flat. Automatically shifts to the right paper size. Zooms up and down. Does two-sided copying. From two-sided originals and sorting, all automatically. That's why Canon's NP7550 is the automatic choice. So step on it. You've got deadlines to meet. For information, call toll-free 1-800-OK-CANON.
Do you know what kills your muffler? Rust. Rust that can start on the inside and eat its way through. Now there's a muffler that helps stop this problem. The new Walker Advantage with a revolutionary rust inhibitor, Absorbite, that actually absorbs internal moisture. The inside of this muffler was not protected with Absorbite. This muffler was. You can see the difference. The new Walker Advantage. It puts rust at a disadvantage.
Warranted at service outlets and auto parts stores where you see this sign.
When do you say LA?
You know, I used to tend bar, and I've observed that sometimes when you're having a good old time, it's possible to get a little carried away. That's why I like LA from Anheuser-Busch. LA tastes great and has just half the alcohol. And sometimes that's a darn good idea. Like my daddy used to say, the real trick to carrying on is not getting carried away.
That's beautiful. LA, sometimes it's the perfect thing to say.
You wrote President Kennedy a letter?
The president still wants to meet with you Friday in Dallas.
You could wind up in Washington.
President Kennedy may have been shot.
The motorcade is coming by here.
A Call to Glory movie premiere.
Tonight.
It's Action Oldsmobile's annual 4th of July sale. Now through July 5th, all new Action Oldsmobiles are discount priced up to a big $2,000. Regardless where you live, it's worth the drive to the fussy customer store in Livonia. Before you pay more for a Ford or Chevy, come make a love-a-deal on a new Action Oldsmobile.
We're dealing, and anything goes.
My recipe for a great steak dinner calls for a porterhouse about so thick, baked potatoes, some corn on the cob, and natural light, the beer with a taste for food. Hey, nothing complicated, but to get it requires some charm and finesse. Hi, neighbor.
Hi.
Yeah, all natural, less spilling. It's Natural Light from Anheuser-Busch.
Another natural light?
Sure. I'm glad you dropped in.
Me too.
Stu Kleitenick tails the Tigers on Channel 7 Action News.
We're at halftime in Oakland with the Tampa Bay Bandits jumping out to a 14-10 halftime lead, and with a little luck could have made it more than that. It could have at least been 21-10. This is how the scoring took place. In the second quarter, Spencer Jackson, 5-yard catch from John Reeves, 7-3, after Oakland had gone out to a 3-0 lead on Bojovic field goal. Then Gary Anderson with a 73-yard pass run play to make it 14-3 Tampa Bay. Derek Holloway then caps an 80-yard drive for the Invaders, catching a 25-yard pass from Bobby Hebert. It is 14-10. And then the Bandits came marching back down the field, but ran out of time with the ball at the Oakland 14, and that's where we are at halftime. Yesterday, in the opening of the quarterfinal playoffs in Birmingham, Alabama, we had a ball game that people should talk about for a long time because it was that good. Birmingham jumped out to a 10-0 lead. Then it was 10-7 as Kelly hit McNeil. Then 10-10 as Fritsch tied it. And here it is going to be Kelly going to Richard Johnson to make it Houston 17 and Birmingham 16 in the third quarter. But Miller comes back with a 57-yard field goal for Birmingham, and it's 19-17 after 3 quarters of play. And the Houston Gamblers, a considered underdog in the game, no question about it, were really playing tough and hard. In the fourth quarter, Joel Coles, running with the ball here, has it get loose. Now you see Mike Hawkins dive for it there. He can't get it. The Gamblers certainly had a chance to grab the football, but it goes out of bounds. Birmingham keeps it, and then Danny Miller, with Houston leading 20-19, knocks the ball through from 35 yards to make it Birmingham 22 and Houston 20. And then, with just enough time on the clock to get off a 49-yard field goal, the veteran Tony Fritsch puts plenty of leg on it. He says 50 yards under the circumstances his limit. He hit more than 50 yards, plenty of leg, but the ball was left all the way and stayed left all the way, and the Birmingham Stallions beat the Houston Gamblers by a score of 22-20. So the Gamblers are headed probably toward history, at least as far as Houston is concerned, because rumors persist they will be moved to another city, and Chicago seems the name that pops up most of the time. Also today at the Liberty Bowl in Memphis, the Showboats are playing the Denver Goal, and the man with that story is Al Trotwig from New York.
Keith, tarnished gold at the Liberty Bowl in Memphis, Tennessee. That's the story of this quarterfinal playoff meeting between Denver and Memphis. Very first play of the game for Vince Evans, the quarterback for Denver. Interception by rookie Mossy Cade of the Memphis Showboats. The ball at the 41-yard line. Later, an Alan Duncan field goal missed by Memphis, but it was an indication of things to come. On the very next possession, Vince Evans for Bill Johnson. Fumble. And Carlton Rose was there for the Memphis Showboats. On this possession, Memphis would have to punt the ball away. So, on these opportunities, they were 0 for 2. On the next Denver possession, Vince Evans finds Gil Stiegel, a 41-yard pass. It looked very, very promising for Denver until the ball popped loose. And it was Mossy Cade there again at the Showboats' 26-yard line. The first 7 plays for Denver, 3 turnovers, 1 interception, and 2 fumbles. Now, on the 7-yard line, Mike Kelly for the Memphis Showboats. For Greg Moser just inside the goal line, 7-0 Memphis in the first. 2 Alan Duncan field goals in the second quarter, and now only a couple of minutes to go in the first half. Showboats leading Denver 13-0. Back to Keith Jackson.
Okay, Al, thanks very much. So, Pepper Rogers and his bunch headed toward the playoffs. We'll have more from Oakland for you after we take this time out and hear something about what's coming up from ABC Sports in the month of July.
The month of July on ABC's Wide World of Sports is your view to summer thrills. His Olympic performance was good enough to capture the gold. Tyrell Biggs is now an exciting pro heavyweight who packs a powerful wallop. He fights live on July 13th. Plus, stock car superstar Bill Elliott has burned up the track all season. Can the good old boys give him a go in the Firecracker 400? Last July, they battled for their country. Now, a year later, Mark Breland, Burnell Whitaker, Meldrick Taylor, and Evander Holyfield continue their assault on the pro boxing ranks. The ring will be rocking with 3 of these bouts live. Plus, It takes pure guts to handle a 350-pound bike roaring along at 130 miles per hour. They'll be cutting loose at the AMA National Championship motorcycle race live. And from one of the fastest tracks, a world-class field has its sights set on a world record in the Dream Mile live. The month of July is a view to a thrill on ABC's Wide World of Sports.
What do you call a charcoal that doesn't need lighter fluid? Convenient.
Matchlight charcoal. What could be more convenient?
Who can protect the wood on your home beautifully? Olympic Stain. Who's protected more homes than any other stain? Olympic Stain. Our linseed oil penetrates inside wood for strong protection outside. Who's got the inside on outside protection? Olympic Stain.
Thanks a lot, Citibank. You had to make your Visa and MasterCard better than other banks. Just by using them, we earn bonuses called Citi Dollars. Now, they could have saved us up to 40% on a color TV or a stereo. But we used ours to get something strictly for Vincent's amusement.
Oh, isn't it wonderful? Visa and MasterCard from Citibank. It's the bank that makes them better.
I hate California. You know what I'm saying? It's like, have a nice day, surf's up. I mean, their idea of culture is yogurt. Formal dinner party means you wear socks. Blondes everywhere, pink tofu, excuse me, soy burgers. I really hate it. I even hate what they drink.
What do you have, buddy?
One of those.
California Cooler. One more reason to hate California.
Home at last, snap on the TV. Me and my baby got the stars in our eyes. Gonna let the magic come and carry us away and get a big surprise. Love is Monday through to Sunday, every morning, every evening. Everybody very happy, 'cause the stars shine all the time. There's always something to see on ABC.
You'll love it.
Just you and me. You'll love it on ABC. You'll love it.
The Bay Area, where our game is being played today, with Tampa Bay leading at halftime 14-10. The USFL, an exclusive presentation of ABC Sports, and today's game being brought to you by Alpine Electronics of America, quality mobile home electronics, and by Michelob Light, super premium taste in a less filling beer. Who says you can't have it all? Well, the socio-economic explosion of sports in this country over the last 3 decades has created almost an unreal circumstance, and it takes tough, young people to handle all that goes with it. And the fantasy of sports seems to have claimed another victim with a little help from the media. Bobby Hebert is advertised these days as the Cajun Cannon, the lanky kid from the sugarcane country around Cutoff, Louisiana. The likable youngster with a rifle arm who went from the state high school championship game to Northwest Louisiana to the USFL. Bobby Hebert is a Cajun, and he is proud of it with good reason.
You know, I've had fond memories of hunting trips, fishing trips, and just, you know, having a good time as a family. Cajuns are really a close-knit group of people where their families really stay close together, and, you know, the first cousins and the second cousin, you know who all your cousins are, and it's just really a close-knit group of people.
Hebert's debut in pro football was with the Michigan Panthers, and he was successful immediately, leading the way to the inaugural USFL title, a win over the Philadelphia Stars. No fantasy anymore. This kid had arrived. The Hebert family, wife Teresa and daughter Ryan, live close to the Oakland Invaders practice complex. Coming to Oakland with the merger of the Invaders and the Michigan Panthers, Teresa knows and accepts the role required of a professional athlete's wife.
I think Bobby likes having someone to take care of the other things while he's in football. Because I'm the one that moves us, that makes all the arrangements. I have his dinner ready when he comes home. I do a lot of things for him, and I think during the football season, he concentrates only on football, and I think that's one of the main ways that marriage helps him, is having someone there to tend to the other things, and someone to confide in, and someone to share the the ups of football with and the downs of football with. So I would say it's helped him.
What about the future? Rumors persist that Bobby Hebert, who becomes a free agent when this USFL season is done, will go to the Los Angeles Raiders, who used to play here. His abilities fit the Raiders' style. Not many people will talk yet about any such moves to the NFL, including Bobby.
I never really, dwell on the future. I'm the type of person that I know it's in God's hands, whatever, He has in store for me. Right now I'm content just being on a winning football team with the Oakland Invaders. I basically haven't thought, down the road as far as what's going to happen 2 weeks from now or even 2 months from now. I've just been taking it one day at a time and just trying to take it basically one game at a time. We're playing Tampa Bay this week and just try and get mentally and physically prepared for this game and just do the best I could, I can do in the game and not worry about what's going to happen when the season's over. So I haven't really given it that much thought. I basically just been letting my agent handle all of that, part of football. That's basically why I hired him, so I can just worry about playing football and not get caught up, in the contract situation of football.
Well, right now, Oakland has come into the ball game as a favorite, but they are trailing at halftime 14-10. And unless Bobby Hebert and company put something together and pull this game out, their season will end today. 14-10, Tampa Bay over Oakland. Back with the third quarter of play after this message and a word from our local stations.
Rapunzel! Rapunzel! I'm here to win your heart.
Not with that.
Who you gonna turn to? Rapunzel.
Not that chicken.
Who you gonna turn to? Rapunzel.
Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Who you gonna turn to? Who you gonna turn to?
But where are the biscuits?
Kentucky Fried Chicken, we do chicken right.
Everybody's tried to make computers easier to use. Well, now there's an ITT Extra personal computer that you can tell what to do by talking to it.
Airplane, please. Overhead view.
This ITT Extra is part of a total office communication system.
Magnify.
It'll respond to your voice or anybody else's.
Thursday.
They're had it with cheap sex.
Nobody thought they would last.
Maybe I should sleep inside tonight.
In the movie that breaks all the rules.
Look, what do you want from me?
Lily Tomlin and John Travolta. You'll watch them moment by moment at 8, 7 Central.
Thursday.
Have you heard the news? There's good rockin' at Riff. The home of rock and roll for over 14 years. Rock and roll music for our ears. Hey, hey, there's good rockin'. Hey, hey, we'll keep rockin'. Hey, hey, there's good rockin' at Riff.
Detroit's home of rock and roll, baby.
He always wanted to design and build his own race cars. He brought that dream to life.
You got an extra taste for living, for the special things in life. Doing what others wish they could and knowing it's alright. So here's to everyone who wants more out of life. And here's to everyone who finds something extra. Stroh's signature is something extra.
Stroh's signature is something extra. You have our name on that.
The prime personality in Tampa Bay's 14-10 halftime lead has been Gary Anderson. He's run 9 times for 90 yards, caught 4 passes for 103. That's a total of 193 yards in the first half. That is a lot. Here are your halftime stats.
As you look at the disparity in the stats and number of total yards, you can see that Tampa Bay has just been moving the ball very well up and down the field. The turnovers have been very important. They indicate the kind of nervous play that's been going on in the first half, and I'm sure both coaches hope to alleviate that as the kickoff is now in the air for the second half.
And from the 3-yard line, Sean Faulkner breaks to the outside with it, and he is thrown down up around the 23-24. And there, the Oakland Invaders will go to work. The loser of the ball game will go home. The winner will then go on to Birmingham.
Keith, if you take away the yards and penalties that both these teams have had in the first half, the total net yard for the Oakland Invaders has been 38 compared to a net total of 288 for the Tampa Bay Bandits. That's a big difference.
The way it looks, the winner of this ball game will either go to Birmingham or Memphis. The way I'll give you the scenario as we wind our way down through this second half. Hebert on first down. Gets his pass away down the middle. It is dropped by Marcus Quinn. Marcus Quinn coming over the top of the intended receiver and could not come up with a football. Marcus Quinn, of course, played here as an all-star last year, and he almost stole one.
Last year, he led the league in interceptions, came in this year, and thought that he had some words of or promise of a new contract coming back this year. Things got a little unsettled. He was traded to the Tampa Bay Bandits, and that would have been an appropriate pickoff for that young man, but he just couldn't hang on to it.
Bentley was the intended receiver. It is second down and 10. Hebert has been intercepted once already today. And he hands the ball to Bentley. Bentley trying to get outside, will not do it. They pin him up right at the 20 and a loss on the play of 3. James Ramey and Mike Clark gang up on him. Mike Butler in the first half was x-rayed for a possible broken finger.
I don't know too many defensive linemen, Keith, that have fingers that are straight.
No, you're right,
who have played football for years. L.C. Greenwood, who played for the Steelers, had 2 fingers that looked like they were right angles most of the time. Cedric Hardman, who played for the San Francisco 49ers, he had the ugliest hands I've ever seen.
Third down and 13 from the 21.
Hope Cedric doesn't get mad.
And Hebert will put it up. Going big down the middle for Gordon Banks, and he's got it. And he is brought down at the 40. 41, they're fighting over the football. It's loose on the ground.
The whistle was blown. No call it dead at the 40-yard line. Oakland Invaders maintaining possession.
That's the Tampa 40. Big play.
The play is marked here by the great blocking by the offensive line. Look at them picking people up, laying them down on the ground. Bobby Hebert looking downfield the whole way. Finds Gordon Banks. Whole bunch of people out there, but most of the defensive backs were behind him. He hauls it in. They're having a hard time bringing that young Stanford grad down.
From the 40 of Tampa Bay now, the Invaders trying to open the second half of play and regain the lead. John Williams goes in motion, and Hebert to throw. Going big down the middle for Anthony Carter. Touchdown! He just simply outran Marcus Quinn.
It's a classic case of knowing your personnel and how to use them. Bobby Hebert lets loose a pass well before Anthony Carter had passed Marcus Quinn. The ball hung up neatly in the air. Anthony Carter, the speedster from the University of Michigan, runs underneath it, and lightning has struck here at the Coliseum.
The Tampa Bay Bandits, who started with a burst of aggression early on in the ball game, come out here in the second half and get burned. They have those passive moments. The kick by Novo Bejovic is good. And with 12 and a half minutes to go in the third quarter, the Invaders have regained the lead 17-14.
Anthony Carter is the tallest of the 3 receivers on this football team. At 5 feet, 10 inches or 11 inches in height. But he just runs down the center of the field. Marcus Quinn does not get turned fast enough. Came into this ball game. He was very quiet as he walked into the stadium. You could see his concentration was there for this playoff game.
But the other fella could run faster.
There's still a place where you're free to test your limits, to go as far as you can. A place where beer is beer and the brand is Miller.
Miller's made the American way. Order brewed in the
Purity you can see, quality you can taste.
Miller's made the American way.
Okay, gang, let's take on the tough stuff.
Only one four-wheel drive vehicle has this combination of style and toughness. The Ford Bronco 2. Inside, there's an interior by Eddie Bauer. Up front, a V6 engine powers you through rough terrain. Underneath, Ford's tough independent front suspension steps over obstacles for a smooth ride. Overall, the Ford Bronco 2 not only conquers the rough stuff, but looks good doing it. Ford Bronco 2. The best-built American trucks are built Ford tough.
On ABC's Monday Night Baseball.
Hi, I'm Pete Rose. I hope those hits just keep on coming when my scrappy Cincinnati Reds take on the slugging Pedro Guerrero and the Dodgers.
Or a high-powered American League East matchup when the world champion Detroit Tigers take on the Baltimore Orioles.
Catch all the action on ABC's Monday Night Baseball.
And during our presentation of ABC's Monday Night Baseball, we will bring you progress reports from the final quarterfinal playoff game in the USFL, Baltimore at New Jersey. Bojovich kicking off now with Oakland leading 17-14, and Steve Carter, who carries the ball kind of loose sometimes, comes back to the 29-yard line.
Almost lost that one, Keith. Bobbled it just a second as he made contact.
Didn't take much for that one. 2.5 minutes, they're back on top. And that's the kind of downtown plays that have marked this Oakland team all season. Now let's see if the Bandits can respond. They're just short of the 30-yard line, trailing by 3. And you've got 12:15 to go in the third quarter. Gary Anderson goes out wide, leaving Boone the lone back. Boone's got it on a sweep. And not much. They might give him about 3. Here's Anthony Carter now with Tim Brandt.
All right, Keith, you said you wanted to get the ball sooner. Tell us about the touchdown.
Well, yeah, they was in a man coverage. Basically, we saw Q had a basic, combo combination defense, what we call it. And, we playing with Quinn early in the season. We know we can beat him deep and not taking anything away from Marcus. He's a great defensive back.
Split the defenders. You knew with your speed you could get open?
Oh, yeah, all day I thought I could get open. It's just a matter of time. I think they're trying to test out my knee.
All right, AC. Keith?
That reference to the knee, suffered a severe cut on it a couple of weeks ago. Misdirection play with Gary Anderson trying to get around the corner, and John Sullivan is the man, the free safety, who read it right, stayed with him, and shoves him out of bounds well short of the first down.
He cut that knee and had 10 stitches across the kneecap. As a consequence, Anthony Carter did not play in the last regular season football game to give her the chance to heal. So it's not the kind of knee injury like a ligament damage or a cartilage. It's just more of a surface wound that they just don't want to remain open, aggravating.
It's 10 stitches. It's worth handling gently.
I don't know. I got 8 stitches in one game in the first half and had to come back and play in the regular season game.
Yeah. John Reeves back to throw it. Good protection. 3rd down and 6. Gets it out, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Vito McKeever. Intended for Willie Gillespie. McKeever, intercepting 6 passes during the regular season, has claim number 7.
This is an excellent interception for a defensive back. Again, you'll see the great time that Spurrier has all day long to find this receiver, throwing to Gillespie. Now watch McKeever come up, and he fights for this football. It pops up in the air. He maintains position and just goes after it. He wanted that football more than Willie Gillespie. He goes after it and takes it away. Gillespie did well, though, in recovering to make this tackle to stop him from going into the end zone.
Bandits 2 interceptions and 1 fumble. First down Oakland, just short of the Tampa Bay 35. Pressure's on the Bandit defensive people now. Double reverse here with Derek Holloway carrying. He's got a big guy to escort him out there, but there are just too many white shirts following the play. It was slow developing. It looked like he might be wanting to let one go downfield.
That was a gadget play all the way, Keith. He ran the reverse. He was looking for Gordon Banks downfield to throw the ball to, but the man who covered on the play wisely gave Gordon Banks room, stayed behind him, and did not come up to try and force a tackle or make the tackle on the reverse.
So there's some loss on that play. No, there isn't either. He wound up with 3 yards. I thought they might have marked him short, but they give his second effort progress and call it 2nd down and a long 7. Hebert will throw this one. Loops it to the sidelines to John Williams. Williams going for the marker. And he's right at it. Alvin Bailey at 185 taking on Williams at 215. And Hebert took a wallop as he released the ball.
Tampa Bay is continuing the pressure that they had on Bobby Hebert in the first half. You see here, coming around the end, number 71, Brett Williams. He's a big man, 6'3", 270 pounds. There you see John Williams taking on Alvin Bailey.
Just short of the first down, 3rd and a half. Ball at the Tampa Bay 26. Tom Newton, a fullback from California, bangs in there at 240 pounds and gets the first down. Newton had 6 years with the New York Jets.
Neutron. Hey, he came up to the line and really didn't have a lot of help in terms of a hole. Just used his leg drive to plow through and then bounce to the outside to pick up the first down.
If the Oakland Invaders win this ball game today and go to the semifinal round of the playoffs, they will play on the road because the Oakland A's will be playing here next weekend. Baseball. Hebert all day. Man wide open, overthrows him. Pass intended for Albert Bentley.
Bobby Hebert just did not have the touch on that pass. Or maybe he had too much touch.
Can't burn it. You got to drop it to him, don't you?
Well, I think in this situation you can fire a pass into him. He's downfield. It's a straight-on pass. He's got the time. He's open, so wide open he can take the time to make it a soft pass. But in doing so, he just judged it poorly, threw it poorly.
Hebert is now 9 out of 18 for 165 yards, 2 TDs, and he's been picked off 1 time. 2nd and 10.
Charlie Sumner.
Hebert looping one. Who's got it? It is intercepted by Mike Thurman, intended for Gordon Banks.
Mike Thurman had excellent position. Just as in the first half, another pass that was attempted to Gordon Banks, the same kind of looping pass, Hebert threw it short. He throws this one short again, Keith, but this time the defensive back is close enough to make the play. That man being number 34, Mike Thurman. And he goes up, he catches the ball first, then Gordon Banks tries to take it away from him, and he can't. They go out of bounds. The ball will be brought out to the 20-yard line. Tampa in possession.
So the Bandit defense does its job. First down, Tampa at the 20.
Come on, America. Drive over to Firestone for another MasterCare car service value.
America's driving to Firestone.
MasterCare lube, oil, and filter includes up to 5 quarts top-quality oil. New oil filter, now only $12.88 at Firestone.
Keeps you moving on the go now. The driving force is Firestone.
New Supreme, Firestone's best radio, on sale at the best prices of the year.
Firestone.
Trouble, officer? No. Just checking out your July Best Buys, Dan.
Oh, well, 12 cellulose sponges from Ocella were just 96 cents.
Nice duck.
Ace professional grade duct tape is only $3.49.
Oh, duct tape.
But with the $1.50 rebate, the actual cost is just $1.99. And also, the Intermatic Super Cop timer is just $3.99.
Good idea for folks on vacation. Another month of Best Buy.
Hey, it's all in the line of duty.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware man.
For all those people who never could warm up to computers, Lotus introduces Jazz.
I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it. You made me want you. And all the time you knew it. Guess you always knew it.
Jazz, the business software Macintosh was invented for.
ABC's Monday Night Baseball. The Cincinnati Reds at Los Angeles against the Dodgers. And Detroit Tigers against the Baltimore Orioles. And, of course, part of that story in baseball is Pete Rose's pursuit of Ty Cobb's all-time hit record. Reeves is really belted, but gets the pass away to Greg Boone, and Booney runs it up to about the 26, where he is gang tackled. And I mean, John Reeves took a whack from Dave Browning. Browning, 245-pounder, a former Husky, and he busted him. Mike Butler got physical troubles. Here he is with Tim Brent.
Before this game started, Bobby Hebert said one of the guys he feared most and had a tough time with in the past was Mike Butler. Mike's got a broken hand, did it in the first quarter. Keith, how'd you do it, Mike?
Well, it was on that short yardage of the second series. I was trying to make a tackle on the fullback coming up there, and I got it twisted somehow and it broke.
All right. Mike's out for the ball game, Keith.
Big loss. Gary Anderson trying to dive over the left side, and Browning and company will have no part of it over there. And so Tampa Bay now will be looking at third down and about 3 yards. Maybe 4. It's close to 4.
Obviously, with Butler out and also the loss of Fred Norgren coming in his ball game, that really leaves the defensive line of the Tampa Bay defense decimated. And not a lot of power in there.
Means the guys, the backers and the corners, everybody's got to come up and help support some, because these Invaders can run the ball and they don't want them to do it. But if you get two support involved, then they're going to burn you with that deep stuff. And Reeves, looking at the play that has been called and the way the Oakland defensive people had shaped it, and John didn't like something, so he has spent a timeout here in the third quarter of play with 8:01 to go, and Oakland leading by 3.
Designs that work are designs that last. And a Delta washerless faucet lasts and lasts and lasts. When it's on, it's on. And when it's off, it's off. So it works just as beautifully as it looks. Enduring designs by Delta for the beautiful designs that you live in. Delta Faucet, we're first because we last.
When the big Q flows, America goes.
Still beautiful, Dad.
Took your brother through college, take you wherever you want to go.
On Quaker State.
Right. Smooth oil flow is what you want, protects the engine. See, Quaker State starts with Pennsylvania-grade crude, delivers stable viscosity.
You get great protection with the big Q.
Hey, how come you know so much?
From listening to you.
Quaker State. The big Q stands for quality. Always has, always will.
Pete Rose continues his hit parade towards Ty Cobb's record when Cincinnati takes on Los Angeles, or Detroit at Baltimore on ABC's Monday Night Baseball.
Steve Spurrier fretting and fussing as his Tampa Bay Bandits trail by 3. And they're looking at third and about 3.5 to keep the ball. Gillespie is wide. Harvey is flexed out, the tight end. And back goes John Reeves to throw it. His pass is away. The pass is complete up to about the 42-yard line to Spencer Jackson out of Florida. And Spencer gives the Bandits a first down. Special program, TWA 847. The Terror ends at 7 o'clock Eastern and Pacific Central. Time will be 6 o'clock here on ABC. Peter Jennings will host this ABC News special, 7 Eastern and Pacific. The hostages on their way out of Damascus and on their way to Frankfurt and freedom. From the 43. Reeves on first down, keeps it, pressures on him, runs away from Monty Bennett and gets his pass off. It's in a crowd and incomplete, and a bad choice of receivers.
Bad choice of receivers because there are 3 defensive people all around Gary Anderson, and Gary Anderson has been such a key. John Reeves ought not to put him in those precarious situations.
Well, he had Brodsky on the other side, but Larry was all the way across the field, which meant John would have to hang a long one up in the air, and that one might have been picked off. So I guess he figured if he could touch this one in on the sidelines, it'd either go out of bounds and be incomplete, or...
But I think that's where you hurt yourself, Keith. He's going to touch a pass in between 3 guys, or maybe get Gary Anderson hurt trying to go up for it. He's better off just either running himself out of bounds or throw it in the ground.
Don't disagree with him. Second down and 10. Again, some pressure on Reeves, and down the middle, it's intercepted. Caught by Oliver Davis, his second interception of the ball game. And in both instances, Oliver Davis's interceptions have been, look what I found, because the receiver has fallen down right in front of him. That particular instance, the ball was thrown behind the receiver and right into Davis's hand.
Here is where the type of field, as we've discussed, can play an important role in this game. Spencer Jackson is going to slip because he runs onto the dirt portion right there in the infield, right there edge. He slips, cannot come back and make the catch on the football. Jackson standing right there, the ball just stuck in his gut because it was drilled, and he finally goes down. Willie Gillespie trying to strip him of the football.
Third interception, and that is the fourth turnover for Tampa Bay. Oakland at Bandits 37.
If you can see the difference between this and this, smile, because Gleam can make the same difference in your teeth. You see, only Gleam has calcium P. And laboratory tests prove it gets stained teeth whiter than any leading fluoride brand. Whiter than any gel, whiter than any polish. How much whiter? 30% whiter. And you'll still get Gleam's proven fluoride protection. So if your teeth aren't as white as they can be, start brushing with Gleam. You'll be smiling. Pretty.
Hey, you want to know how to make a car sing? Well, after you wash it, just get out the old Armor All. First I do the tires. Makes them look like new again. Then I do the bumpers. Makes them look like bumpers again, yeah. Then I do the dash, the door panels. Then I hit the hoses. And when I'm finished with Armor All, this car is the envy of the entire living world.
And then he does his car.
Company car.
USFL playoff action continues next weekend, live at 2:30 Eastern on ABC Sports.
Oliver Davis with his second interception of the ball game, and this is the fourth time Oakland has had a possession that has started inside Tampa Bay's 40. That makes it pretty easy for the offense. Puts a lot of pressure on the Tampa Bay defense. They've been out on the field now virtually all of the third quarter. And their defensive core is thin. Hebert trying to cash in this opportunity, gets his pass away, flips it out to John Williams, and Williams has got 8 yards. Update now on the goings-on between Memphis and Denver with Al Trotwig.
About 9 minutes to go in the third quarter. Slippery Rock's Ricky Porter dives over from the 1. And now the Memphis Showboats lead the Denver Gold by a score of 20-0. We'll have more updates later. Now to Keith Jackson.
On their way, doesn't it?
Yes, indeed.
Second down and 2 for Oakland.
Pepper letting the big dog hunt.
Yeah. They go with a run. Williams caught behind the line of scrimmage and brought down around the 30-yard line. A quick look at the potentials of next weekend, then. If Birmingham, Oakland, Memphis, and New Jersey are winners, next Saturday's game will be Oakland at Memphis and New Jersey at Birmingham. If the winners are Birmingham, Oakland, Memphis, and Baltimore, it'll be Oakland at Memphis on Saturday and Baltimore at Birmingham on Sunday. Third down and a good 3 yards for Oakland. From the Tampa Bay 30-yard line, Hebert looks to throw it and throws it to the official as the whistles blow.
The 30-second clock had run out. Delay of game, 5-yard penalty against.
That's a very good presence of mind on Bobby's part.
That's true. The defense was shifting around just a bit. Marcus Quinn looked like he was coming in on a blitz. Hebert possibly calling an audible at the line of scrimmage. Did not have the time and sustained the 5-yard penalty.
Give you one more scenario here. Birmingham, Tampa Bay, Memphis and New Jersey winners. It's Tampa Bay at Birmingham Saturday and Memphis at New Jersey on Sunday. There's one more. Third down now and 8. Hebert going big with it. And Marcus Quinn, for the second time in the second half, has his hands on an interception, but can't come down with it. The pass was intended for Derek Holloway, number 29.
Looked like number 20, Warren Haneke, went up for it, was going to make a great one-handed interception. Marcus Quinn, number 40, was coming from his safety position, the same thing in mind, and what happens is that no one comes away with the football. But more importantly, Oakland doesn't get the completion.
And Novo Bojovic now has come in for a hero-sized field goal try of 52 yards. His long of the season, 51.
Everybody wants to be a Danny Miller.
Lasana gets it down, and Bojovic hit it. Good.
Novo Bojovic, not short on emotion after he makes that one.
He squeezed every bit out of it, though.
He sure did. That was his limit on that particular kick, because this ball, after it gets to the uprights, will just bounce off that bottom bar. He's got it straight and just enough distance. 1 inch shorter, and that might bounce right back at him. But it clears.
And it's 20-14. I'll give you the one other possibility in the playoff circumstance. It seems obvious at the moment. Birmingham, Tampa Bay, Memphis, and Baltimore. It would be Tampa Bay at Birmingham Saturday and Baltimore at Memphis Sunday. So I won't belabor the point. We'll wait till the end of this ball game, and when we have a final report out of Memphis today, then we can pretty well tell you what's going to happen.
Well, you already know what I think is going to happen. Memphis will come up a winner, and I think that New Jersey will come on top.
Can't hear you, Swanee.
I think the New Jersey is going to come on top of Baltimore.
I know you feel that way. The kickoff goes to Carter, and Steve Carter, fighting for yardage, gets it back to about the 27. And you got a penalty flag on the play. While we're waiting for the penalty call.
Foul, Spearing, 23, first down.
So it's against the kicking team, Oakland. There's a look at baseball scores around the major leagues today. The foul is called against Otis Brown. Nothing of any particular. Well, Chicago, which is having trouble losing today. Montreal, which is sitting around the top of the National League East. And Gooden is pitching today for the Mets. There's a look at the baseball scores, and nothing anywhere near completion in that one. From the 42-yard line, first down for the Tampa Bay Bandits. Oakland is leading 20-14 with 4:50 to play in the third quarter. Reeves gives to Anderson, and Gary slides down, trying to make a cut. He wanted to cut back over the left side when he saw nothing in the middle, and he lost his footing. Gary Plummer was there, but it was academic because Anderson was already down.
He saw a lot of blue.
Certainly did. Randy McClanahan had a huge ball game last week, an inside linebacker. McClanahan played 4 years with the Raiders and a year with the Bills out of southwest Louisiana. And he had a big ball game in the finale against Houston a week ago. Second down and 10. Tampa Bay's offense hadn't done much here in the third quarter. This is Greg Boone, and Boone is banged down by David Shaw and McClanahan. Novo Bojovic, 52 yards. You think he's happy? Well, listen as he talks to Tim Brent.
You got it across. I know you've got to be excited to show some emotion.
Oh, yeah, especially after last year's playoffs, like we all know what happened to me. I'm very excited about this game, and I tried to forget about that one. So I just told Coach I'm not ready for anything today. So, I mean, I learned great aspects from last year, and I got a great experience from last year again, so it really helped me today.
Very quickly, you still carry the garlic for good luck?
Definitely. I'd like to say hello to my wife, Linda, and all the people in this.
Hi, Keith.
That's Larry Brodsky carrying the football down near the 20-yard line, but there is a penalty flag thrown all the way back at the line of scrimmage. 12 men.
12 men in the field on the defense. The penalty is declined.
And they still couldn't stop them.
That's right. I don't know. You sort of sensed that because it looked a little congested, didn't it?
You'll take a look at it. Larry Brodsky, who mentioned earlier, a good ball possession receiver. Got three wide people in the field out in the pass pattern, effective with Gary Anderson there. A good pass, again, good zip on the ball by John Reeves. And a couple of players hitching a ride. Number 41, John Sullivan, gets back up to help tackle Larry Brodsky.
And it's first down at the 21 of Oakland. So the Bandits trying to answer now and regain the lead themselves. And John Reeves sets the throw. Goes to Anderson. Gary makes a diving catch right at the marker, and it's good at the 11.
An interesting call here, Keith. I thought he only had 1 foot in bounds. He dove for that. He got 1 foot down and looked like the other leg, whichever leg trailed, was just in the air. I don't know if it ever touched the ground. We'll take a look at it on the replay. Now watch here. He gets 1 foot here. Well, I don't know. If that foot was up, we'll take a look at another angle. The question here is, was his right foot down when he makes the catch? Because very shortly after that, it's up in the air. Yes, it was down. 2 feet inbounds. Good catch. I apologize to the officials.
Reeves loops it toward the corner. It's too long for Brodsky. Defending on the play was Derek Martin, number 24. So both these teams like to throw that fadeaway to the corner. And it hasn't been terribly successful for either. Hebert's been intercepted one time and knocked away the other time on that particular kind of pass.
One hold track. Jimmy Jordan with the headset on. Steve Spurrier signaling in the plays to John Reeves. Then he translates them and communicates to his ball players, calls the play, coming to the line of scrimmage, and everything looks good. He goes.
2:59 to go, third quarter. Second down and 10 from the Oakland 11 for Tampa Bay. John Reeves is sacked back at the 16. There was nobody available. There's a penalty flag, however, in the end zone, and Martin and Brodsky are arguing as to who's guilty of what.
John Reeves expected the blitz. They gave it to him.
Holding 24 on the defense. First down.
Oh, it's a heavy call against the Oakland Invaders' Derek Martin. He got tangled up with Larry Brodsky, and the penalty goes against the defense.
They anticipated this blitz, Keith. You see John Reeves, he'll come back and he'll take a very short drop. He doesn't try and go back deep, and he's looking for a receiver to go to very, very quickly. He didn't have the receiver. All his receivers were covered. The pressure gets to him, and he has to dump the ball away. And there's the holding at the top of the screen. Martin of Larry Brodsky.
Holding is on the tape machine. On first and goal, Reeves keeps it. John running for the corner. Touchdown.
Of all the plays in the world, Keith, that I think John Reeves needed to run, that was it. Coming off the bench after the last series of downs they had, the interception, which was not his fault, he seemed like a lonely man on that sideline. He seemed like nobody was really talking to him. He knows the pressure is on him. If he doesn't play well today, he knows he can be pulled out of the ball game. You get down here in tight, crucial situation, they need the points to go ahead. John Reeves called his own number, not known for his running ability, pulls it off and gets the touchdown.
During the course of the season, as Andrew Zishin goes for the point, it's good. John Reeves totaled -6 yards on 6 rushes. At 2 minutes and 28 seconds to play in the third quarter, it's now 21-20 Tampa Bay, and I hope my old friend John Bassett feels better.
There's only one Super Bowl of cereal, and there's only one taste that makes it the super taste of Kellogg's Corn Flakes.
Just think of crispy golden flakes.
Delicious, crunchy flakes of corn.
So pure and simple, just can't wait.
Low in sugar, loaded with vitamins and iron.
So good for you, don't hesitate.
For a Super Bowl of our most nutritious corn flakes ever.
What a Super Bowl. Have yourself a Super Bowl. Kellogg's Corn Flakes, super
I got bad news for this guy. He needs a complete transmission job. About $600. This is a Fram transmission filter. Just a few dollars. Now, if you take care of your car right, including changing your transmission fluid and putting in a new Fram transmission filter when you should, you may never be faced with this kind of problem. But the choice is yours. You can pay me now or pay me later.
Come on.
Seated in transition, getting ready to kick off now. 2:28 to go in the third quarter. And the Oakland Invaders considered favorites for this particular ball game, but the Tampa Bay Bandits, just like the Houston Gamblers did yesterday, they're selling out. They are thin on personnel. A lot of key people hurt. Some are missing, not even here. Kelly Kirchbaum, the fine linebacker, for one. Fred Nordgren, the nose tackle, for another. Mike Butler has a broken hand, and they're hanging in and fighting. And here's the kick. And it goes to Faulkner, about the 5. And Faulkner weaves his way back all the way to the 38-yard line, about a 33-yard return for Faulkner.
You see there the scoring summary. 7 plays, 58 yards, 254. But what it doesn't tell you is what that one run by John Reeves will do for his confidence and his ego as he has to continue to lead his team in a very, very tough football game. It may come down, Keith, to a game of character more than talent or anything else this afternoon.
John has had his ups and downs in his life. He's righted himself after some tough times, and I'm just happy as I can be for him. Call it the 39-yard line and a first down. Hebert dropping to throw. Screen pass set up for John Williams. He makes something out of it. Close to a first down. Ball will be marked just short of the first down. The championship game will be played at Giant Stadium in the Meadowlands of New Jersey. July 14, that's a Sunday night. It'll be on the air live at Eastern Time of 8 o'clock here on ABC. There's a million speculative things that could be said about the future of the USFL, but since it is little more than speculation at this juncture, it's a waste of time really to talk about it.
Yeah, we could only get in $500,000 anyway.
Yeah, that's right. Second down, 1. Williams for the first down and more. The former Badger blasts his way to the Tampa Bay 44 and a first down. So the Oakland Invaders falling behind 21-20, trying to answer. You've got 45 seconds to go in the third quarter.
How do you feel about a football game, Keith, that's decided by whoever has possession of the ball last?
I like it.
That's what it may come down to.
Makes the day shorter.
Both teams are moving well on offense now.
Hebert looked like he had a little trouble getting the snap off. They set up another screen play, this time with Bentley, and Bentley is overrun by Al Richardson. Richardson had a clean shot at him, and Bentley ducked under him, and you've got a penalty flag thrown at the tackle point.
Now, I've played a lot of games here at this Coliseum. That little move, ducking under an arm, something I didn't learn.
Gain of 5 yards.
Here until it was too late.
56 on the offense.
Offense called holding. That's Tom Tourneur, the center.
I should have ducked under a lot of tackles made by a few defensive personnel here at the Coliseum.
Yeah, there have been some licks laid on you here, haven't they?
Hey, well, you know, they've said I think I've played 5 football games here at this Coliseum, Keith. I only remember 3 of them.
That holding call against the offense moves the football back to the Tampa Bay 49. So it'll be first down and 15. And they may not get a snap off. They won't get a snap off. The third quarter is over. And after 3 quarters, Tampa Bay 21, Oakland 20. And we'll be back with our quarterfinal playoff game after this message and a word from our local stations.
Over 200 years ago, a symbol was chosen for the American way. A symbol that represented strength and pride. One that would last as long as America itself. Today, the American eagle is an endangered species and needs your help. When you buy Miller beer through the July 4th holiday, look for this special refund offer and find out how you can help Miller help this living symbol live forever.
Miller's made the American way.
It's a rare antique I should buy, but it cost
$12,000. I see.
Merrill Lynch invented the cash management account to make the most of your assets.
I'd like to sell 200 shares of...
Wait, there might be a better way. I'll get back to you.
Only the cash management account gives you the full resources of Merrill Lynch.
That stock's very strong.
Don't sell. She'd do better to borrow against it.
Absolutely. Hello. It's for you.
Well?
Well, it's yours. And here's how...
Merrill Lynch people, a breed apart.
As the hostages begin their journey to freedom, stay with ABC News.
Wherever in the world news is being made, we will be here to keep you posted.
And tonight, an ABC News special on all the day's developments. TWA Flight 847, The Terror Ends, at 7, 6 Central.
This 4th of July holiday, there will be over 12,000 fireworks injuries. Fireworks can be dangerously explosive and can cause eye injuries, resulting in blindness. Protect yourselves and never allow children to handle or ignite explosive fireworks. Choose a safe celebration. Attend your community-sponsored fireworks display. Help save sight this 4th of July. This public service message is brought to you by the Michigan Ophthalmological Society, your medical eye doctors.
He always dreamed of owning a diving company. He had what it takes to make it happen.
You got an extra taste for living, for the special things in life, doing what others wish they could and knowing it's alright. So here's to everyone who wants more out of life, and here's to everyone who finds something extra. Stroh's signature is something extra.
Stroh's signature is something extra. You have our name on that.
After 3/4, the score you see. The United States Football League on ABC. Today's game being brought to you by Emery Worldwide. For any size, any weight, and any value shipment anywhere in the world, call Emery, and it's as good as there. And by Meisterbrau, the beer that only tastes expensive. The crowd is the 4th largest of the season, 19,346. For the Invaders, Oakland's ball, first down 15 at the 49 of Tampa Bay. Little trap play. John Williams popping it over the left side and picks up. He gets back to about the 42.
There are the third quarter stats. You see, and highlighted in blue there, the turnovers. Tampa Bay having 4, Oakland 2. Surprising that Tampa Bay could have 4 turnovers and still have a slim 1-point lead. Oakland getting back into this ball game in the third period, bringing up their total net yardage to 208. They were at a net 38 at the end of the first half.
Second down, 8. Hebert going for Holloway. Got it! Great catch by Derrick. Boy, he is a big play kid, isn't he?
He certainly is. He comes into this ball game much like Jim Smith used to come into the ball game with John Stallworth and I in Pittsburgh. You can't double cover 2 great ones on the outside and Gordon Banks and Anthony Carter and leave Derrick in the middle with single coverage. Again, great timing and a great pass by Bobby Hebert. He lets it fly, and then after the ball is in the air, Derrick breaks open. That great little burst of speed once the ball is in the air that many of the great receivers possess. He is a man who is also in motion. He turns up the center of the field, makes a spectacular diving catch. Not easy to hold on to the ball when you're falling right on top of it from that height.
Williams and Bentley line up, and it is Bentley with the call and the touchdown. No, it is Newton. Newton, the call for the touchdown. Number 45, Big Tom. He hasn't played much today, but what he has played, he has cashed in, hasn't he?
He picked up a crucial first down for them in a 3rd and inches situation in the 3rd period. This time he comes in, short yardage, uses his bulk and size, and there's a lot of it there, folks, to get into the end zone for the score. Oakland opening up the second half with a very good drive to take the lead. Tampa Bay answering.
Going for
now
2.
Tom Newton comes back, and they are going for 2.
Penalty flag. Hold on. Mike Schumann caught it.
Holding.
It's against Oakland.
On the offense.
Holding.
Well, the offense will just have another shot since they caught the pass. It forces Tampa to accept the penalty. We'll see if Charlie Sumner decides to stay with going for 2.
Well, he's all the way back at the 13 now. Going to go for 1. Vujovic has come on the field.
The reason Charlie Sumner wanted to go for 2, obviously, is that it would be 21-28, and a touchdown by Tampa would only tie the ball game. Going for the extra point, making it, if it's good, would make it 27-21. And if they score the touchdown, Tampa Bay would obviously go ahead by 1. It would be that seesaw effect.
The extra point try is from 30 yards after the penalty. No problem. So with 12:59 to play in the ball game, we got another penalty flag dropped. I see now in the crowd.
Holding on the defense.
Now we'll come back and make another decision. Vujovic has kicked the single point. Defensive holding is 5 yards, though.
See what they decide. If he misses the extra point, or if they don't get it, it doesn't really change the picture. They remain in the lead by 5 points, and Tampa still has to score a touchdown to go ahead, and they would only be by 2, which means a field goal would still put Oakland back on top. The big advantage comes, however, if they should be able to score the 2-point conversion.
How big is the penalty here?
Defensive holding is usually 5 yards. I believe it's 5 yards.
Is good. The penalty will be assessed on the kickoff for holding.
Well, it took a while to figure that out.
Charlie Sumner doesn't seem pleased about what transpired out there.
Well, I don't know that the dead-gum rule was interpreted right on the play. I think that's probably what Charlie's talking about. It remains 27-21, Oakland, and the penalty assessed meaninglessly on the kickoff.
A little confusion can be fun, but not when you're looking at long-distance phone companies. Because all companies aren't the same, you have to watch out for the unexpected. No operator service and no service from many small towns. Different levels of transmission quality and no immediate credit for wrong numbers. Only one company comes with no surprises. AT&T. The more you hear, the better we sound.
AT&T, the right choice.
New business. Chair recognizes Brother Lampard.
Yeah, I got a question about this beer that Brother Hollowell's been buying for the lodge.
This expensive brew, Meisterbrow?
According to the guys down to the plant, it's not expensive. Just tastes expensive.
Oh?
So what's Hallowell doing with all the money he claims to spend on beer?
Well, let's just ask him. Hallowell? Where's Hallowell?
Hi, Hallowell.
Rich, smooth Meisterbrow. It only tastes expensive.
Get ready, New York, for the first title game to come your way in 20 years. The championship of the USFL. Sunday, July 14th. The United States Football League will crown its champion beginning at 8 p.m. at the Meadowlands. This is your chance to see football at its best. Tickets are available at the Meadowlands box office and all Ticketron outlets.
The preceding message was furnished by the United States Football League.
I'm Al Troutwig with this USFL update from the Liberty Bowl. The Showboats are turning today's game with Denver into a real Poseidon adventure for the Gold. That was Leonard Williams with a 35-yard run, the longest TD run in Showboat history. It was 27-0 for the Showboats. And then a few minutes later, Jim Asmus with his punt for the Denver Gold. Derek Crawford, who played his college ball for Memphis State on this very football field, was able to elude tackle after tackle and scamper for 63 yards. And right now, in the third quarter, the Memphis Showboats 34, the Denver Gold nothing. For Denver, the best offensive plays today have been punts. Let's go back to Keith and Lynn in Oakland.
So the Boats on their way to the playoffs, the semifinals. They might be hard to handle. Very interesting game coming up tomorrow night, too. Baltimore at New Jersey. This is Steve Carter for Tampa Bay. Carter's got a lot of daylight. One man. And he can't get away from him.
Yeah, the caravan and escort leading him down the sideline, Keith. One man between he and the goal line.
Darrell Hart out of Lane College, number 7.
And he just ran on the sideline. He just got pushed off to the sideline. He was trying to hold up, wait for the block. There were people coming from the inside, people coming from behind him. He couldn't wait, ended up stepping out of bounds. He does a good job here. He doesn't waste a lot of time running back and forth. You see, he's just following Spencer Jackson right there, his lead blocker, pushing him forward. He wants that block so he can just take off. He can't get it in time. Steps out of bounds.
Bandits are setting now at the 46. And John Reeves on first down to throw. A lot of time for John. His pass is away, and it is incomplete, thrown behind Gary Anderson.
Just as he let loose the pass, it looked like number 91, Monty Bennett, came in and leveled John Reeves and took all the power off his pass. The ball went up in the air. He couldn't follow through, and thus there was just no power. He didn't have the distance to reach his receiver.
12 minutes and 42 seconds to play in the ball game. The Oakland Invaders leading Tampa Bay 27-21. And from the 46, it is second down and 10 for the Bandits. Haven't seen Harvey much today. The tight end. For the play action, Reeves shoots. There he is. And he simply doesn't hold on to it. David Greenwood was right behind him, but Harvey had turned David and was open, and the ball was thrown as precisely as you can possibly throw it.
As we take a look at this replay, the play previous to this, Keith, Harvey was wide open short. I think he may have gone back and told Reeves, listen, I'm short, I'm open on the inside. Here, he's open again, just doesn't bring it in. Very often you saw how his body was positioned to the side. Had he been able to get in front of that ball, he would have been able to trap it with his body.
Third and 10. Blitz coming, passes away. Jackson has it. First down at the 30. Spencer Jackson, 6-footer, 175, a Gator.
John Reeves' offensive line doing a very good job picking up that blitz. John Reeves hanging in there. It was pointed out to me, Keith, that John Reeves' running touchdown was the first time he'd ever run for a touchdown since 1975 when he was with the Cincinnati Bengals.
Anderson had 193 yards at halftime. So far in the second half, Gary has 12. So they've been able to harness him pretty well. John Sullivan trying to make himself into a sweater. Oh, boy. Greg Boone is just walloped by Doug Holly, the defensive end, who had his ears laid back.
Keith, it appeared that Reeves was calling the play at the line of scrimmage, or either the receivers are having a hard time hearing, which might have been. They seemed to be leaning over trying to hear what he was saying. He looked down the sideline, was looking over the defense, calling a play, trying to take advantage of what appeared to be a blitz as the Invaders were lining up for that play.
It's second down and about 13. Gets it away quickly to Jackson. And Spencer's going to have another first down as he made the play in front of Oliver Davis. Davis lost his footing and couldn't get back in time, and they're going to give him an advance just inside the 20.
Greg Boone does a great job of picking up a blitz. Number 59, Angelo Sipes, comes in from the outside, Keith. And it's a very deceptive kind of blitz because it looks like he's in pass coverage. At the last moment, he sneaks in. Jackson reads the blitz, runs an inside blitz adjustment route. Again, you saw the way he went up with his body in the air in front of the ball, protecting the ball at all costs.
Reeves, 17 out of 28, 300 yards, sweep play. Anderson slips, loses his footing, gets up and takes off again and makes something out of it as he gets down to the 15.
Keith, I checked the field before the game. I don't understand why it's so slippery. We've had a number of people fall down, and not because of contact.
Well, they're trying to make those quick, hard cuts where you get used to making those things on that artificial surface. You can plant and cut sharper on the rug, but Tampa Bay plays on grass at home.
Yeah. I'm just wondering, why they're slipping. If they've got longer cleats in or shorter cleats, or how hard that field is in the center.
Second down, 6. Reeves goes too quickly that time for Gary Anderson. Anderson had not even turned to look for the ball, and John had it on his way and gone.
John was signaling to Gary Anderson, Keith, had his fingers up. It looked like 4 or 5. I think Gary Anderson may have gone too deep. They're just trying to get the first down on that play. He was about 3 yards past the first down marker.
So that leaves them with a third, 5.5, short 6. Anderson's out. Spencer Jackson has been the primary receiver in these kind of circumstances with this alignment.
When Brodsky's got to go to, he looks like he's going to have man-to-man coverage with no help.
It's touchdown, Willie Gillespie. Boy, he just got him in, but Willie knew he was running out of real estate, and he jammed both those feet down, and Reeves hit him on the money.
We'll take another look at this one on the replay. 89, Willie Gillespie. Reeves puts some zip on this one. Like he said, he's running out of real estate. He makes a catch here. He knows that next step, a normal stride will be out of bounds. He does his wide receiver's tap dance, and it's a touchdown.
And the score is tied at 27. Zenon Andrusician will go with the extra point kick, trying to regain the lead for the Bandits. Penalty flag. Kick is good.
Holding, but there is illegal formation on the offense. They're locking their legs.
They'll make them kick it again, locking the legs.
You cannot
can do that.
Lock the legs.
It's an almost impenetrable wall you form.
Yeah, until you break one of those wheels.
Yeah.
That's one of the problems. Intertwining the legs to form a human chain at the line of scrimmage. You see there on the left-hand side of the screen, the legs locked right there. That is illegal.
Andrusician kicks it good again, and there's another penalty flag.
Tripping. 21 on the offense.
Oh. Now Zenon's going to have to swing the leg a little harder. Greg Boone called for tripping.
What can happen next? I see someone coming in from the sideline.
It's Nat Newton, I think, coming in, is it?
Pitcock, 64, goes out. Yep, there's nobody else that size on the Tampa Bay Bandits other than number 61.
It now becomes a 35-yard extra point try.
Not automatic.
He missed it. Boy, he didn't get much of that ball. It went floating up there like a knuckleball. The Bandits are furious at the turn of events here, and it winds up 27-27.
In effect, it's just as if Charlie Sumner was able to get the 2 points on the conversion, You see right there, he gets it off very low. It's like a knuckleball, and just fades to the right.
My goodness. Misses a 35-yard extra point try, and you've got 9:41 to play.
Hey, you want to know how to make a car sing? Well, after you wash it, just get out the old Armor All. First I do the tires. Makes them look like new again. Then I do the bumpers. Makes them look like bumpers again, yeah. Then I do the dash, the door panels. Then I hit the hoses. And when I'm finished with Armor All, this car is the envy of the entire living world.
And then he does his car.
Company car.
Ryder presents a moving tribute to those industrious few who saved money by renting a truck from somebody else. The Brewbakers from Akron who saved $14.50 moving to Topeka. Stanley Helms who saved $8 moving from Tulsa to Reno. The Willises who saved $6.95 on their move to Seattle. And finally, to the Blevins family, who saved a grand total of $13 and found out, like they all did, that it's Ryder or it's wrong.
What a finish by Williams. Just one hurdle left.
Gatorade is thirsty.
Uh-oh, flag down on the field. Hopkins is called for clipping.
Gatorade is thirsty.
Nice comeback by Reynolds, facing one of the most consistent players in the game.
When you exercise, you lose potassium, fluids, minerals. Gatorade Thirst Quencher helps put them back fast.
That's why the pros drink it. It's Thirst Aid.
Gatorade is Thirst Aid. For that deep down body thirst.
A 27 tie with 9:41 to play. And Tampa Bay's Andrusician kicks it off. He kicks another knuckleball. It takes a pretty good bounce, however, for Sean Faulkner, and he should have pretty good field position because he's got a hole up the middle, and he comes out to the 37-yard line.
Special teams doing an excellent job this afternoon. You see there, the scoring drive, 8 plays, 46 yards, 318. Gillespie doing his tap dance in the end zone after receiving a bullet from John Reeves, who is playing an outstanding football game this afternoon.
Last year, Swanee, and I would just say this only as far as the 13 Michigan Panthers that are on this Oakland roster. Last year, you remember they got involved in a 3 overtime struggle in Los Angeles. Timmy Brandt did that game. First down from the 37. Hebert gives it to John Williams. And John will have one, maybe two.
In a playoff or championship game, when there is a tie and you go to overtime, it does not become an overtime period of 1 quarter if there's no score and it goes in the record book as a tie. You play until there is a winner.
Well, Oakland and Baltimore in the second game of the season got hooked up in an overtime, played a full quarter, and wound up in a tie.
That's right. But in this ball game, you just keep playing until you find a winner. It's the playoffs, folks. You got to have a winner.
Big Tom Newton is in the backfield now on 2nd down and 8. He's the protector for Hebert. Picks off one blitzer. Hebert touches the ball to Banks. Gordon's got it wide open. He's on his way inside the 30 and down at the 27 of Tampa Bay.
He should not get up too fast after that one, Keith, and he isn't. There was a train wreck, and nobody is getting up on that field. First man to get up is number 26, Dwayne Anderson. Bobby Hebert drops back. Good blocking here. You see bodies flying in the air, being laid on their back. Watch how he just pulls a little bit off this pass right here as he releases it. Gordon Banks flying across, meets the ball in the crossing pattern. Now just watch this train wreck. He is going to get sandwiched here by Anderson, number 26. Montoute and Anderson. Oh. And there's no way he could have expected to get that hit from behind. Take your time, Gordon. They need you, but take your time.
Or he put that helmet right in his breadbasket, looked like. Well, the Invaders are threatening again.
I tell you, there's nothing like a hot steam bath and a cold light beer from Miller.
That's the truth. Light doesn't fill you up, so you can sit back and relax a while.
Ah, that tastes great.
Hey, Ben, how about another cold one? Me too.
Me too.
Me too.
Hey, wait a minute.
That ULC?
I didn't say anything.
Uh-oh.
Whoa!
Get
out of here!
Hurry up now.
I got my hat. Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
There's a lot of confusion in people's minds about what goes on in their mouths, like the difference between plaque and tartar. Plaque is so soft, proper brushing with a toothbrush and any toothpaste helps remove it. Ugly tartar is so hard, it takes one of these to scrape it away. And no toothpaste helps stop it from coming back. But there's one coming that will. One that helps stop tartar from coming back between dental visits. New Tartar Control Crest. Coming soon in the silver box.
Pete Rose continues his hit parade towards Ty Cobb's record when Cincinnati takes on Los Angeles or Detroit at Baltimore on ABC's Monday Night Baseball.
Gordon Banks getting up, getting some wind back in his body, trotting off the field, and obviously he's all right. Out of the game for the moment, it is first down. The ball is near the 27 of Tampa Bay. 27-27 tie. 7:40 to play in the game. Albert Bentley bounces outside. Pursuit's good. And maybe a yard. They disappear in a cloud of dust from where we're sitting. This way this stadium is set up here, this baseball configuration, and the kind of booth we're working in, you need to be an orangutan to get in and out of the thing.
Well, they gave us a little ladder to climb up and down.
But this whole perspective of things sort of reminds me of Frank Ewell Field years ago.
It reminds me of being poor and only affording the cheap seats.
Second down and 8. Hebert throws it. Has a man. Close to a first down for Holloway. Derek Holloway. Used in certain circumstances, but boy, he's efficient.
Yes, he is. That time, Dwayne Anderson decided he was not going to get the short end of that stick, or that tackle. Just picks up the smaller man and turns him upside down. See Mel Blunt do that to a lot of ball players, and it's a pretty rough way to go. He did that to me a couple of times at practice. I wanted to get up and fight. But
not a good decision.
Wisdom prevailed.
16-yard line, first down for the Oakland Invaders. Hebert now with 273 yards, and Gordon Banks is back. They run it with Williams. He's inside the 15. Special program tonight at 7 Eastern and Pacific times here on ABC, 6 o'clock Central. Peter Jennings, ABC News, TWA 847, The Terror Ends. As the hostages have departed Damascus, we understand, or about to. I believe they may have gone by now. And by the time the program takes place, the full story of all the recapitulation of all that went on during the story of 847, they should be in Frankfurt, West Germany by this evening. So time is called now with 5:25 to play in a tie ball game. Tampa Bay 27 and Oakland 27.
Jack Rafferty proves you just can't tell.
The fellas that I work with are pretty perceptive. They don't miss too much. No one had picked up the fact that the gray was gone from my hair. It was that simple. No one realized I was using the Grecian Formula 16. It was so gradual. The Grecian has a natural look about it. It's not a dye. It's a clear liquid. The questions most asked by the fellas at work were, what are you doing? You working out? Are you losing weight? And unless I told them I was using the Grecian Formula 16, they never would have guessed.
Grecian Formula 16. You just can't tell who's using it.
Spilled a cup of coffee, ruined a sweater. Boss is screaming, send this letter. Call Emery, and it's as good as there. Emery's on the case, so you don't have to worry. We go any place and get it to you in a hurry. From the biggest to the smallest, it's as good as there. Just call us.
Hi, Emery?
It's as good as there.
Day in the sunshine in Oakland, California. A tie football game. Winner goes to the semifinals. The loser goes home. The Oakland Invaders with a second down and 7 at the Tampa Bay 13.
Tampa Bay took a timeout because there was some kind of confusion there on the defense. And with 5:25 left in this ball game, that leaves Tampa Bay with only one timeout remaining.
Hebert wants to throw. Throws it for Holloway. It's out of the end zone. It is incomplete. And that time, Mike Thurman stayed right with him.
Just ran out of real estate. He had the blitz on, single coverage. Bobby Hebert laid it out.
I'm a little surprised they put it up there like that. You got John Williams and Bentley. They're both pretty good sized backs, 215 and 210. You got Big Newton, 240. You got a second down and 7. With this offensive front, I would have thought maybe Charlie would have just banged it on down in there, but maybe they thought Holloway could slip away one more time.
Well, they also had a blitz coming on in, so I don't know how effective any other play would have been, running someone in that clogged middle of the line.
Banks is the man moving in motion. Hebert gets it off quickly for Anthony Carter, and it is no good. Just a fraction high, and Alvin Bailey climbed right up him.
When you've got receivers of the size of Anthony Carter, Gordon Banks, Derek Holloway, you try and be as physical as you can to intimidate them. But to the credit of the smaller guys, they don't worry about it. They come right in there and are willing to pay the price. At that time, he did not make the catch. He had to pay the price anyway.
Now it is Novo Bojovic, who has kicked a 52-yarder and a 37-yarder, will now kick one from 31. But with 5:18 to play, field goal is far different than a touchdown. And Tampa Bay almost got caught with 12 men on the field. Bojovic hits it, and he missed it. Oh, my goodness, he missed it from 31 yards.
From the emotional heights of success and making a field goal to the dismal depth of being able to put his team out in front and missing the field goal.
Well, this whole thing took a little different swing and complexion, didn't it?
Sure did.
Tampa Bay will have the football, first down at their own 20. Replay.
You saw Novo in his reaction when he made the long field goal earlier in the ball game. Here's his reaction when he misses one to give his team the lead.
John Reeves now sets the Bandits, first down at the 20. A 27-27 tie, 4:57 to play in the game. Greg Boone trying to find something, and he's able to generate 2 yards on the carry.
Here's an interesting situation, Keith, for a coach. You've got time on the clock to march down the field and score a touchdown without doing anything too gimmicky or too dangerous. Yet, at the same time, you don't want to get overly conservative, cautious, and be too safe and not keep the game open, and that's what's got Tampa Bay on the scoreboard. We'll just see how Steve Spurrier reacts in this situation, if he stays with the loose, wide-open offense or if he tightens up a bit. The first play was a running play, conservative, up the middle.
Second and about 8. Reeves will throw this time. No, he won't. Number 58, David Shaw, got away on the outside, and he sacks John Reeves.
I think Dave Powell, number 72, the left offensive tackle, may have been responsible for him coming around, Dave Shaw coming around the outside. A play-action fake does not slow Shaw down. He's coming anyway.
John Lucca to keep the ball.
Yes, he is. It did pop loose, but they ruled that he was down.
That's the first sack of Reeves today. And the loss is back to the 14. So it is third down and 16. Got Reeves on the 4 this time. Doug Holly.
Good pass rush that time, Kate, but really give a lot of credit to the secondary of the Oakland Invaders. They played man-to-man coverage. A look down across the field. Every receiver for the Tampa Bay Bandits was covered like a blanket.
Seen it in position, will have to punt it deep out of his end zone. His only other punt today was blocked. This one he gets out. Faulkner waits under it and calls a fair catch right astride the 40. A 35-yard punt. Faulkner taking no chances on that one. He wanted to make that catch. And so here's Oakland. First down at the Tampa Bay 40.
That ball was knuckling through the air. It was a wise choice, Keith, to make the fair catch. Not letting the ball bounce, pushing the Oakland Invaders farther away from the goal line, not taking a chance of having to run with the football after making a difficult catch.
The Memphis Showboats, I'm told, now with a 41-7 margin over the Denver Gold and about 5 minutes to play in the game. So one would assume the Showboats will be in the semifinal round. Hebert from the 40, first down. Hands the ball to Albert Bentley. Bentley's on his way. Inside the 25.
Al Bentley, one of the great surprises, a wonderful gift for the Oakland Invaders, having him on this football team over 1,000 yards in the 1985 season. Is not going to let, or seemingly will not let this game rest on the foot of the kicker on this next drive. Would like to push it all the way into the end zone for the score.
It is the 5th time Oakland has had a possession starting at the Tampa Bay 40 or better. Tom Newton now in the lineup with John Williams in the backfield. And Williams runs it down to about the 20.
Keith, this is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Having a running back like Albert Bentley and John Williams, where you don't have to rely on the pass throughout the entire game. They can control it here in this crucial moment of the ball game without taking too many chances.
The 2 sacks on John Reeves, so very important in the previous Tampa Bay possession. Now it's Oakland's game to win, it would seem.
Heads up! Working out gives me an edge. So does Speed Stick Antiperspirant. It's the wide stick. Goes on dry for man-sized protection against wetness and odor. The wide stick gives you the edge.
Speed Stick Antiperspirant.
I take care of my body, my skin, too, with Skin Bracer Aftershave. It cools and smooths skin, tightens pores. That's the tingle. Skin Bracer skin care that feels good.
Takes care of men who take care of their skin. Skin Bracer Aftershave.
Boy, could I go for a nice cold light beer from Miller. So I thought I'd just pop in at my favorite hangout and have one with the guys. Well, the whole gang drinks light. Oh, sure, there's a lot of other light beers around, but we all agree that light beer from Miller tastes terrific. And get this, it's less filling.
John, how many times have I told you? Use the door, huh?
I forgot. I'm sorry.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Like I was saying, light beer tastes great. And another thing.
2 minutes to play in the ball game. 27-27. And the ball is at the 20-yard line of the Tampa Bay Bandits. The defensive group in on people, trying to hang in. Williams and Bentley line up behind Hebert on 2nd down and 5. It's Bentley. He got a block from Jeff Wiska, the pulling guard on the play. And looks like he's got a first down.
Yes, he does. Bentley did a real good job just staying behind Wiska, following the protection. The clock continues. Well, the clock stopped here because it's a first down while they reset the markers. Now it starts up again, 1:48 and counting.
Ball is on the 14-yard line of Tampa Bay.
Boyovich, you may get another chance if they don't score the touchdown.
John Williams. And he's got a couple of yards to about the 12. Brought down by Mike Clark, the defensive end on that side. Also a former Florida Gator. Tampa Bay has just spent its last time out. 1:14 to play in the ball game. 27-27 tie. The loser finished. And if they go to the fall, I don't see Tampa Bay Bandits having a strong chance of remaining in Tampa.
No. There's been talk about them merging or possibly joining in some manner with Orlando. The semifinals in the playoffs next Saturday and Sunday, July 6th and 7th. Oh, boy.
If Baltimore wins at New Jersey tomorrow night, then your lineup next Saturday, if Oakland goes on to win here today, would be Oakland at Memphis, Baltimore at Birmingham. If New Jersey should win tomorrow night, it would be Oakland at Memphis and New Jersey at Birmingham.
That New Jersey-Birmingham matchup would be the third time those two teams have played each other this year.
Might be a fair fist fight.
Yeah, it'll be more than a fist fight. A few feet, some elbows, a forearm or two, and some wonderful words of encouragement.
The ball is just short of the 11. It is second down and 8. Hebert hands it off to John Williams, and nothing for Williams. Nothing.
The ball being kept on the ground, not wanting to take a chance that the ball could be intercepted, wanting to run the clock out. You see it ticking down below the 1 minute mark. Charlie Sumner feeling confident that if it does come down to a field goal to win the game, that Novo will come in and redeem himself.
Might be a kind of a heavy load.
Yes, it could be.
Third down. Williams goes pounding up the middle and close to the 5, but short of the first down. So here comes Novo.
I think what they'll do, Keith, is let the clock run all the way down until it says about 4 or 5 seconds on it, then call a timeout, have Novo come onto the field, then kick the field goal, so that there's absolutely no time left for Tampa.
Oakland calling the timeout with 2 seconds.
Well,
it's either overtime or Novo connects.
That's right. Yesterday's ball game between Houston and Birmingham came down to the last 5 seconds when Tony Fritz had a chance to kick a 59-yard field goal and give Houston the win. He kicked it, he had the distance, but the ball went wide to the left. Birmingham won that ball game.
Here's one little thing you put in your head. If there's an offensive penalty, there won't be a second chance. Old Poise has got to get involved here.
If there's an offensive penalty and he kicks the ball and it's good, there will be a second chance.
If it's good. 23 yards. 23 yards. Snap's good. The hold is good. The kick is good. Game's over. Seesawed back and forth, and then late in the going, the Oakland defense sacked John Reeves twice, got the ball on the 40. They worked it down to the final 2 seconds, and Novo Bejovic, whose ethnic heritage is Yugoslavic, and he hits it good to win for the Oakland Invaders over the Tampa Bay Bandits by a score of 30-47.
Well, he makes good on this effort. Made a long one earlier, missed a short one, and now 2 seconds on the clock. He comes through and nails this one dead center. Now watch his reaction after this. The young man, he's had the highs and lows this afternoon. And he knows that one's good. He's got to be careful he doesn't hyperventilate, Keith.
No, he wants to get out there in the open field, so he's got center stage. That's what he's looking for.
Well, he has it right there.
Well, he wins it for him with a 23-yard field goal, and we'll talk to him right after this.
Now's the time for a Honda portable generator.
Hi.
Honda. Power, anytime, anywhere. Would you like some more coffee?
I'd love some, but don't you think it's a little bright in here?
I saw people who want a stronger defense. I saw people who think we have more than enough. Viewers often tell me that network news is too liberal or too conservative, or not their particular point of view. Our responsibility is to present differing points of view on important issues. In a word, to be fair. The better informed we are, the better decisions we can make. That's the job of the free press, American television, and you.
Well, here's your man, Noble, with Tim Brent.
All right, it was exactly 1 year ago this weekend when you were playing for the Michigan Panthers, went into the L.A. Coliseum, missed a couple of short ones, and eventually lost the game in triple overtime. You come in here today, it had to be playing on your mind when you missed that short one a while ago.
I definitely did, Tim. You know, see, I was on the sideline after I missed the first one because, I mean, the field goal 30 yards, it could have put us ahead. But see, the thing is, when I came on the sideline, I paid attention when the guys, some people were coming off the field and took my concentration off. And my concentration was there. But see, when I came on the sideline, I said, no, well, you learned the lesson last year. And the thing is, I mean, being religious and stuff, God was on my side. He put me in a position to do it for my team, and I did it. And last year, I didn't have that confidence in myself.
All right, now you also told me about the wind. You said you would rather kick it this way with the wind the way it is this afternoon.
It really didn't make any difference because it was a cheap shot field goal. It was only like, what was it, 31 yards or whatever it was, 17, 18 yards. But the thing is, you know, whatever it is, if it's in your range, you're supposed to make it on a big field goal like this because, you know, we know what we're playing for because the loser goes home. And here we are. We go next week, whoever we play. And, like, we got a great team, and we came through. And like I said, thank God for everything. And the defense came through when we needed it. Bobby drove the ball, and the offense played real good. So I was very happy with our performance. And like you see, we had to fight the officials, but God was on our side, and we won it.
All right, Novo comes through in the clutch. Now, Bobby Hebert is with me. And, Bobby, it looked to me like they were showing you a different defense than you had seen the previous couple times that you had gone against Tampa Bay.
Yeah, well, first of all, I'd just like to thank the Lord Jesus Christ for blessing me. You know, it's one of those games where, you know, easily could have gotten down on myself, but I just came through when I needed to and came up with some big plays. I just got to be more consistent. And as far as the Tampa Bay look on defense, they were showing us a lot of bracket type coverages on our wideouts, and Gordon Banks was complaining he was being held the whole day. But that's just one of those things where we just got to rise above that, and I just thank God that we came up with the big plays we needed to.
Talk about your confidence for a second, because it looked like the more that you hit, the confidence seemed to soar. In the last couple of weeks, you've seen that. It's been an up-and-down season for you. Have you had problems with confidence?
Well, not really. That's everyone's talented out there on the professional level, you know, both offensively and defensively. And, you know, it's just one of those things. You have to have confidence in yourself that you can get the job done. And, you know, I was trying to get a big play on that first down to Schumann, and Harrell, he's a veteran player. He just, you know, sank back, and we really didn't have anyone to dump it to. Everybody was going deep, so I probably should have tucked it under my arm and took off and ran. But, you know, I learned from my mistakes, and I'm just glad we came out ahead with this win, and I just hope, you know, we can win next week.
All right, Bobby, thank you very much. All right, Keith, so it comes down to Novo Bojovic. He comes through this year where he fell short last year, and I'm telling you, they're excited.
Well, they've got their work cut out for them next week, too. And here's a replay on the winning field goal, 23 yards by Bojovic to make your final score 30-27. The executive producer of ABC Sports is Roone Arledge. Today's coverage of our game in Oakland, produced by Peter Engelhardt, directed by Jim Jeanette. Our technical director, Chet Missouri. Associate Director, John Bassoni. Our spotter was Todd Barry, statistician Dave Burnson, Keith Jackson, Lynn Swan, Tim Brent. The United States Football League, an exclusive presentation of ABC Sports. Today's game brought to you by Gatorade Thirst Quencher. Gatorade helps put back the potassium, fluids, minerals you lose when you exercise. Gatorade is thirst aid for that deep down body thirst. by light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer and less. And by Grecian Formula 16, gradually restores natural color to gray hair. Oakland 30, Tampa Bay 27. The Invaders headed for the semifinals. Coming up later on many of these ABC stations, ABC's World News Sunday, which will keep us informed as to the latest of the hostage association. And our West Coast viewers will see the news at its normal time. Travel arrangements made through, promotional fee paid by United Airlines. You're not just flying, you're flying the friendly skies.
You wrote President Kennedy a letter?
The president still wants to meet with you Friday in Dallas.
You could wind up in Washington.
President Kennedy may have been shot.
The motorcade is coming by here.
A Call to Glory movie premiere.
Tonight. My recipe for the perfect barbecue? We're talking ribs with emo sauce. Now allow 15 minutes for preparation. First, get a couple of helpers and ice down some natural light to be able to taste the food. Okay, everyone, we're almost ready. Hey, Emo.
Hey, Mike, 2 large slabs, plenty of sauce.
Voila.
Yeah, all natural, less filling. It's Natural Light from Anheuser-Busch.
Like your new grill?
Hey, I love it.
Right now, almost everybody uses this cloudy white substance on their vinyl, leather, and rubber. But probably not for long. Introducing new ClearGuard from Turtle Wax. New ClearGuard is crystal clear, clean through. Gives a brilliant, long-lasting shine because ClearGuard lets all the natural beauty shine right through without any cloudy residue. Protects while it conditions. See for yourself. New Turtle Wax ClearGuard lets the natural beauty shine through.
Michigan's Station of the Year, Channel 7.
We're back here at the Oakland Coliseum. Final score in this ball game: Oakland Invaders 30 and the Tampa Bay Bandits 27, and a real big ball game here.
It's another one that went right down to the last tick of the clock like yesterday. So I guess the feeling about the league that they had some equality certainly worked, because yesterday you had the second best record in the USFL in Birmingham, 13-5, having to go to the last second to beat a 10-8 team. And today, Oakland, with the best record in the USFL, has to go to the last second to beat Tampa Bay.
But I think you really have to characterize this game as a game of great character. Tampa Bay came into this ball game missing some key players: Eric Trevelyan, Fred Nordgren. They lost Butler with a broken arm earlier in the ball game. John Reeves had his problems with 29 interceptions coming into the playoffs, but they all played exceptionally well. Gary Anderson played up to his capabilities and making this just a 3-point ball game.
Now, let me reach over here and get my paper and all of these scenarios about where we're going to be going next weekend. And this is the circumstance now, and everything is going to swing on what happens at Giant Stadium in the Meadowlands, New Jersey, tomorrow night. If New Jersey should win, is that the way that's made up?
Let's see.
Well, let me read it to you this way. If New Jersey wins, your matchup will be Oakland at Memphis on Saturday, 2:30 Eastern Time, and New Jersey at Birmingham on Sunday at 2:30. Now, if Baltimore should win the ball game tomorrow night, it'll be Oakland at Memphis on Saturday and Baltimore at Birmingham on Sunday.
So regardless of what happens, it's Oakland at Memphis, and that's going to be a pretty good matchup. You know, because those two teams match up extremely well, defensively and offensively.
It was a blowout today for the Memphis Showboats over the Denver Gold. Al Trotwig at our studios in New York has the story on that ball game. So let's check in with him right now.
A crowd of better than 30,000 filing out of the Liberty Bowl, having witnessed an unmitigated disaster for the Denver Gold. Vince Evans starting for the injured Bob Galliano, and we had an early indication of the impending doom facing the Gold. Vince Evans looking upfield, intercepted by rookie Mossy Cade of the Memphis Showboats. The Showboats would miss the subsequent field goal. But on the very next possession, that previous play we watched was the very first play of the game. It was Vince Evans finding Bill Johnson, but Bill didn't hold on for long. The fumble recovered by Carlton Rose. Memphis would later punt the ball away. on the very next possession. It was Vince Evans looking upfield, 41 yards to be more specific. Gil Stiegel was able to hold on, but again, not for long. Mossy Cade was there for Memphis, and the Showboats had the ball at their own 26. For Denver, 7 plays and 3 turnovers. Now, a few minutes later, the Showboats having marched up the field, Mike Kelly brought his team to the line. Looks just across the goal line to Greg Moser, 9 yards, and Memphis was on the board at 7-0 with 2:20 remaining in the first. 2 more field goals, they had a 13-0 halftime lead. In the third quarter, more Showboats showing up. This is Leonard Williams, 35 yards, the longest TD run in Showboat history. It was 27-0. And only a few minutes later, again, more problems for Denver. Jim Asmus sends this punt. It is corralled by Derek Crawford. He is slippery and oh so very quick. Watch him scamper 63 yards on the punt return to give the Showboats a commanding 34-0 lead. In the fourth quarter, Memphis would receive 2 more touchdowns. Denver would even get on the board, but it was much too little and much too late. The final, Memphis 48, Denver 7. The Showboats will now host Oakland. They've won 4 in a row and look pretty tough, Keith Jackson.
All right, Al, thanks very much. And as you know, if you've been watching, 30-27, Oakland winning here. Let's join Tim Brandt now as he talks with Anthony Carter.
Thank you very much, Keith. And AC, I know you had that one in the bag all the way. You never had any doubts, did you?
Well, we just tried to come out and didn't want to make any mistakes. You saw we made a lot of key mistakes. The defense gave us the ball in good field position. We didn't capitalize on it and kind of hurt us.
Just a year ago, we were talking with Novo and Bobby Hebert about the same situation. Came down. You could have won it last year against Los Angeles and lost.
Oh, yeah, the guys was in the huddle thinking about deja vu. We've been here before, and we didn't want it to happen. And, Novo, he's a great competitor, and he showed that today.
Let's go back now and take a look at the play that you made, the big play that really seemed to turn this thing around against Marcus Quinn, of course, your former teammate here, even as early as this year.
Yeah, like we said, it was a combo coverage where Quinn was playing me inside and the other guy was playing me outside. And, we know about Quinn's speed, and we just tried to work on him, and, the post was wide open.
One thing we touched on with Bobby, and you can see it in this, where you split the seams, but they also rolled up on you guys a lot, and it seemed like they were riding you and almost holding you for a while.
Yeah, after I caught that pass, they definitely was playing a lot of bump coverage and a guy behind, and, we wanted to come back with a lot of corner routes, but so happened we didn't, and we hit Gordon up over the middle a couple of times when it took me to the post, cleared out for him.
AC, not only the best record in the league right now, but of course you came in here, I think you're 12-1-1 over the last couple of weeks, 13-1-1 now with today's win. It just seems like you're peaking. Now, you went to the championship game and won it your first year and went back to the playoffs again last year with the Michigan Panthers. Do you have that feeling? Do you feel like you can win it all right now?
Definitely. We're only one step away from going to the championship game. Right now, we got to go out next week, and whoever our opponents are, we got to concentrate on them, and hopefully that we can come out and not be as sluggish as we was today.
I see they have the 10 stitches out. It's bundled up. You've already taped it, no problem?
Yeah, it's no problem. Only until Monday and Tuesday when practice comes, I have a problem.
So it sounds like Swanee sitting out those practices, Keith.
All right, Tim, thanks very much. And congratulations to the Invaders. They will play in Memphis next week. And it'll be very interesting to see Anthony Carter and Gordon Banks lining against Mossy Cade and Leonard Coleman.
Oh, that's going to be a matchup. I'm going to enjoy watching that one.
The big story, of course, will come tomorrow night, concluding the first round of playoffs, and we'll have progress reports of Baltimore at New Jersey for you as ABC's Monday Night Baseball story unfolds as well. And check the local listings for the baseball game in your area. And coming up at 7 o'clock Eastern and Pacific, 6 o'clock Central Time, Peter Jennings will recapitulate the entire story of TWA Flight 847, The Terror Ends. We hope you enjoyed the ball game. We'll see you next Saturday with the semifinals of the USFL playoffs for 1985. As here in Oakland today, the Invaders defeat the Tampa Bay Bandits in the last second, 30-27.